Welcome to Emancipated Studio. Welcome my uncle, Uncle Stu, the old man on the block.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. First of all, let me say Uncle Stu did not realize he did not have on the page so y'all knew who we was going to be talking about tonight. But we're going to start this off just right. First of all, let me say shout out to all my people in the chat. Let's give a shout out to my boy Trash Can Waves, my boy Alpha Male Honesty. Yes, my brother, I got some topics for you. We're going to give a shout out to Adrian Nash in the house. Everybody give a shout out to Red Lipstick Vibe. Pray for her family. For my praying people, I want y'all to be praying for her and her family. You don't need to know what it's about. You don't need to know any of those things. Just keep this family up in prayer. And two, the work your land. Yes, yes, yes. Let's see who else we got. We got Nate Love in the house. Stephen Day in the house. And I know Before the Billions is in the house, but I know he's going to have some work to do, so he won't be around long. And of course, now we don't know, she is both the #1 moderator and she's about to be the #1 YouTuber. We're going to shout it out to Gail at Night in the house. Let me also shout out to my people in China in the house, to my people in Germany, they in the house, to my people in Great Britain, they're in the house. And I'm also going to shout out my Nigerian brothers and sisters, they in the house, to my people in Canada, they in the house, and to my boy, he probably sweating it out right now, riding his bike down there in Brazil and down there in Mexico. Shout out to you. I'm just going to let y'all know tonight, we are bringing to the stage one of the most powerhouse couples that you would have ever met and ever known. They are so powerful, y'all, that when the Obamas was trying to figure out should they run for president and vice president, they called this couple. When everybody was going crazy on YouTube trying to figure out relationships advice, they called this couple. And right now, Uncle Stu and Brown Eyes had to figure out who this couple was, so they end up calling this couple. So, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the couple of the hour. Blind guy, his wife, their life. See, blind guy say he can hold it down all by himself. Salute to you.
Salute to you, Uncle Stu. Thanks for having us today. My better half is on her way into the studio right now. And so we are glad to be here tonight with you and Brown Eyes. Thank you for having us. And
yes.
And hello to everybody in the chat. We are glad that you joined Uncle Stu tonight so we could have this conversation with you.
And Laquita,
hello.
We're not going to keep you quiet tonight, okay?
Good evening. How are
you? We're going to actually allow. Look how it go. We're going to allow you to speak tonight.
Okay, get ready.
Hey, I want to thank y'all so much for, first of all, coming here tonight, for answering the last minute calls and everything else. And I'm going to tell you openly on this platform, when we had, our tragedy, I want to thank both of you for what you did for us. Everybody don't know that you came into our lives personally. It just wasn't on the YouTube streets. You made sure that, we was loved, we was comforted, we was ministered to. We had a chance to meet y'all personally. And my girls, I love my girls. I got a chance to, we superstars to the girls.
Absolutely.
So I just want to thank you personally for all that y'all have done and given. And, Laquita can't really cook, y'all. I almost missed out on some meals doing lives while Brown Eyes was eating up the food. Just call it out. Call it as I see it. But
yes, thank you.
A lot of times on these YouTube streets, people don't realize that we're actually real people in real life.
Yes.
We're humans. We actually go through real issues. We actually have real family traumas at times. And at times you don't really know who's real until those traumas actually takes place. So
absolutely.
We just not content creators. We friends.
Hey.
And that's a big deal. And, so I just had to make that the first introduction. Now the second one, Corey.
Yeah.
We got to go there, Corey.
Uh-oh.
Corey, How did we meet Laquita?
Okay, here we go. There's a story
Mm.
of a football player
Hey, he did play
who
football.
was roaming through the halls at high.
We went to school
Was
together.
a captain on the team.
Where's this going?
Had his own car.
He did.
And I was very fly. Then I met this pitiful creature named Laquita. And I said, I might keep her for myself. Fixed her up, took her out on a couple of dates, and we got married and took her off the shelf. Why, Lord?
No. Let me tell the story, okay?
All right, you tell the story.
Yes. So the truth of the matter is, we did meet in high school. Well, junior high. So Corey in high school, though, is when we started dating. He did have his own car because he could see back then.
Mhm.
And did I have my own car yet?
Not yet.
Okay, Corey had his car first. His dad had bought him a car. His parents were great, and that was pretty much it. We started dating in 11th grade, like the summer between 11th and 12th grade.
Mm-hmm.
So just from junior high school, though, we've known each other. I've always been an entrepreneur, aka I sold candy out of my backpack.
And I stole candy out of her backpack.
Yes, so true. And a lot of people
ain't got to steal the candy no more.
So yeah, that's where we are.
That's where you are. So y'all really junior high school sweethearts.
Sort of. Because we knew each other.
We were classmates in junior high school. I actually didn't like her in junior high school. I thought she was a little snobby because she wouldn't let me cheat off of paper. But then I found out it was because she was left-handed that she kind of, how left-handed people write like that,
covering up.
Yeah, I couldn't see over the paper, see over her shoulder. So, but then fast forward to 11th grade, like she said, I saw some legs go by, and I was like, woohoo! And then that was it. I was hooked. And then, fortunately for me, it worked out because the legs had a brain on top and a beautiful personality to match. So that's when that's where the magic really was right there.
So let me get this straight, Kurt. She's left-handed.
Yes.
I wonder her and Laquita get along so well. Brown Eyes is left-handed.
We're in our right minds. Left-handed people.
They got the right man. That's why.
Wow.
Okay. I can't argue. I can't. Definitely, I'll agree to that.
Okay. So how long y'all been married?
We've been married. This May will be 22 long, hard, arduous prison life.
Let me turn this camera off for just a second. Let me do this.
May will be 22 years.
Yeah, so we've been married 21 years so far, going into the 22nd year, and we've been together 29 years. So we've been together.
Wow.
So this will be our 30th year together, actually, in June.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh my goodness, like that's the part right there, dealing with people for 30 years, anybody, nobody really deals with anybody. Like the cable guy, you get a new cable guy, you get a new dentist, you get a new grocer, but living with and knowing, and we didn't live together for 30 years, but
right.
when we got married, that's when we moved in together. And along the way, Corey lost his sight. So that kind of slowed things down. That's why there's such a gap, but it's been a long time. It's definitely been a long time.
You don't hear about that often anymore. Let me just put it out there. You don't hear about the longevity of marriage anymore. You don't hear about that. Based on what you're hearing on these YouTube streets, how did you do it?
You want to answer that, Corey? Like exactly how? I think it's we both have to answer that, because it's not just like, oh, we did it with prayer, or we did it with family, or oh, we did it with love. None of that. That definitely is not the. You always have all of these different things, that come into your life to help you get through things, get you through different seasons and scenarios. But but really, it's a combination of things,
I think mainly is just being practical and just it boils right down to communication. You know, everything that we've overcome due to communication. And is it always perfect? No, but like I said, at some point in time, you get it together. So I know, for example, one of the things, the challenges that we had to overcome as a married couple is that I'm even though I graduated from college.
Well, even
Well,
before that though, like we started the business. You started Autumn.
well, yeah, we started. That's true.
So
That is
we were
true.
actually dating, but in business together,
Well,
and
yeah.
which also involved communication because, knowing, hey, we have a gig. How does this job work? What's necessary for the job? Who's going to create the invoice? Who's going to make the phone calls? Who's going to secure the position? When we worked through different agencies, who was going to handle the paperwork there? Corey was always the person that called the facility. So if it was the university, the museum, the library, wherever we were going, he would do that part. I would call into the office to see, hey, where's the paperwork so that we have the address, and that paperwork has a phone number on it. Sure, Corey's going to call, but I need to make sure he has the phone number. And this was before, man, Uncle Stu, this was before we had the internet like we have now.
I mean, on dial-up.
Yeah. So we were really working on actually talking to people and actually like listening and paying attention to what you need to do when you get off the phone, get the pen and paper, writing down the notes and, whatever, so that we could really keep things moving. So when Corey says communication, I definitely wanted to bring that up, that we were working together because he founded our organization back then.
Yeah, right. It all started, like I said, while I was enrolled in college. I was like, I wanted to be a teacher, but then I found I knew I didn't want to be a teacher in a formal classroom setting. So
and by then you couldn't see, so right, you kind of knew.
I was totally, because before that I was going to school to be an X-ray technician. That's what I was in medicine school so that I could actually.
So I'm sorry.
Somehow y'all started to freeze.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? Thank you for saying that because we got janky internet. Okay, we trying to be fancy, but something ain't right today. Something is not right today. So thanks. Please let us know if that happens again because back up a little bit, Corey. When you were saying that you were in radiology school.
Back up the chair.
No. I meant back up in the story to when
right after graduating high school, I turned down the opportunity to go play college football because I just didn't have the gas in me anymore. And I ended up going to X-ray school to be a radiologist. And then after that, I was going to pursue nuclear medicine, be a nuclear medicine technician. But in the midst of all that is when I got sick. It was a condition called pseudotumor cerebri.
False tumor on the brain, where it's like pressing on a certain part of your brain. It damaged the nerve that helps his eyes to work.
Right. And so it damaged my optic nerve. So, needless to say, I woke up in the hospital one day. I could see this after 3 surgeries. I woke up in the hospital. I could see. And then 2 days later, it was totally dark.
Woke up and asked him to turn the lights on because he couldn't see.
I asked my mom to turn the lights on, and my mom was like, "It's broad daylight. It's 11 o'clock in the morning. What do you mean?" And so that right there was day one of that journey, the journey we've been on together, because Laquita has been there step for step. I didn't know what I was going to do when I lost my sight, and I even tried to break up with her, and she wouldn't go because I thought this is just a wonderful young lady. She's just sticking with me, but then I found out it's because the sweet dad is just too sweet for to let go. So. But in all seriousness, while I decided to go back to college, and while I was in college, I wanted to go so that I could teach. I wanted to teach in the school setting, but then I realized that's not exactly what I wanted to do, but I still wanted to be an educator. So I discovered, with always having a sense of humor, a knack for performing and storytelling, that was passed on to me from my father and my grandfathers and my uncles. I was actually say, okay, well, I went to see a griot. A griot is a storyteller from the West African tradition. So I was just enthralled by the music, by the stories, by the performance. And I said, that's how I want to educate. And so
interactive education and edutainment, education, entertainment, blending those two together. Yes.
So of course, Laquita was all for it. She got on board, and we started our performing arts ensemble, Atum Pine. And from there, we started. We grew our business again. Like you said, communications. Calling people, making contact, making connections. Sometimes we had to donate a performance at a place to get it to for people just to get in front of people, and we started growing more and more while I was in college, which actually by the time I graduated from college paid the dividends because I graduated summa cum laude, totally blind. I didn't do it by myself because Laquita was there and you were telling what you were doing. I know you were scanning books and
yeah, like a lot of the grunt work, reading the syllabus, figuring out which chapter had to be read that week for him so that I could scan that book in page by page, chapter by chapter, because we didn't have ebooks back then. And so before that, people would read to the person. So luckily I didn't have to be a reader, and Corey could just, look at the things when he had the time to look at the things, the books and the schedules and the chapters that I had scanned in. But I also had to make corrections because when you scanned it in, there were mistakes. So I had to cross-reference, reread, and all of that fun stuff in order for him to finish college. Now, he did, I think, the first 2 years, you were still at home with your parents.
right.
And then once he went to university, once we got married, it was me and him, and his dad would still go to class with him. So that way, just to really hang out and watch the girls sometimes.
That's basically was it.
But
that was the main reason he was going to hang out and watch the girls.
Well, not the girls because he was married, but
he
to watch the
them.
young people. Let's put it that way.
And of course, he went with me because sometimes I had to go across campus and across 4-lane highway to get to another building. And people always think, blind people have this extra superpower, sense of hearing and time, and not for going across a 4-lane highway that leads to a military base.
Yeah, so, because you know what? And someone did ask about how you read the internet chats. So
that's exactly what I was about to bring up.
I just do like that, and the screen starts to slide, and it starts speaking to me. And so that's why. No, I'm just kidding. No, Laquita reads the chats to me, and unless I'm on my computer, if I'm on my computer, the talking computer reads it to me, and that's how I can participate in the chat that way. But yeah, so
and that was Matt Ricks asking that question. Corey.
Thank you for the question, Matt. But just to fast forward, like I said, once I graduated from college, 2 successful internships, and then actually going into having graduated summa cum laude, I was underemployed. People could not get past the fact that I could not see, no matter what they saw on my resume. They just could not get past the fact that I could not see. But thankfully, my wife was there, and we had started our business while I was in college. So we just said, okay, this is what we're going to make it work, so that we can continue to grow as a couple.
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask you 2 questions because one, I have a friend that is blind, so I understand that. Are you able to read Braille?
Yes, it would take me like 7 days to read the word cat, but I can read some very, very, very basic Braille.
Okay.
And I think I probably forgot most of that by now because so often now we rely on talking software from our phones to our laptops to even the TV. If there's a certain feature on the television, we have a smart television, I could turn it on a voice and it'll read the menus on the screen to me so that if I wanted to watch something particular on TV, then I could actually find the network and the channels I wanted.
When I will say this, when Corey was in college, we'll put it this way, when he lost his sight, he was already at the point where they had talking software. He was already at that point. There was 19 at the time. Braille was not really the option. It wasn't the mainstay. They were already using a lot of talking software for calculators, for computers, screen readers of different types. So he learned enough Braille because when he lost his sight, he had to go to the Center for the Blind. So he had to be able to function. They taught him like how to move around the house, iron his clothes, do laundry, sort things, mark appliances, because when we're here at home, if he wants to use the microwave or the toaster oven or the fridge or the washer and dryer, depending on what kind of appliance you have, we have to mark those buttons, especially now with things being really touch sensitive rather than before when we had knobs and you could just know, oh, let me turn this 3 times to the right, and that's the quick wash or what have you. So the Center for the Blind, they really got him started onto screen readers, which is why he doesn't really use Braille. Yeah. And Matt Riggs, look, Braille, they don't even teach cursive now, right? So Braille and cursive, like you're saying, they're both antiquated. Yeah.
And my twin brother is in the chat too. Let me see, where'd he go?
Coffee Talking Twerk.
Yeah,
that's my twin brother. My twin brother hanging out with y'all tonight. See?
Hey.
So
now, good to see you, Coffee Talking Tech.
What everybody don't know is you talked about that first business. And what everybody don't know is y'all are natural playwrights, because for everybody in the chat, you invited myself, Brown Eyes, and Intentional Millionaire to go see y'all stage play. And for everybody in the chat, Laquita actually knows how to, play an instrument. So, she really knows what she's doing out there.
I guess I'll just chop liver on mine, but that's okay.
Well, but and I'm gonna let you know, if you come, he's gonna call you out, because me and Intentional Millionaire and Brown Eyes got called out during this stage play. So it was awesome. And I'm gonna say this. A lot of people don't realize, and this is the credit that I give you. I come from New York. So when it comes to theater, that's like a cultural norm. Whether you're going to see a Broadway show, off-Broadway show, off-Broadway show. And what a lot of people don't know is when we say off-Broadway, it just means, it's easier to get the cheaper tickets, but it doesn't mean the production quality is low. It's just, cheaper tickets. Based on your culture, not color, culture, you go to other types of theaters. Like we had the African Ensemble Theater, or we had the Alvin Ailey Theater. But when we went to see yours, and it was awesome, because I felt like I was in an off-Broadway theater. It was in an awesome neighborhood. Everything was clean. Everything was organized. And everybody don't know, my little African shirt came from when I went to go see y'all play. So how did y'all get into being playwrights? Because that right there is something I don't think everybody knows your channel.
Yeah, with us, we when we started our business, we were storytellers. So we were always performing the storytelling of traditional folklore from different cultures. Started out with West Africa, but we expanded to fairy tales and folklore from around the world.
I want to add to that, though. Foundational. Both of us had great foundations. We both had parents that were really just great parents to us. I had 8 brothers and sisters, but it was like I was an only child. Our parents to this day, they give us all individual attention if we want it. Same thing with Corey. He was an only child, so he really got spoiled. And his dad was an amazing man. He really poured into him. His dad had a strong relationship with his brothers, because his dad has 5 brothers and 2 sisters. What is it?
4 brothers.
4 brothers. Okay. 3 sisters.
3 sisters. Yes.
Okay. So, and there were just strong family ties. So Corey knew his uncles. He knew his dad. He knew his grandparents on both sides. He knew his great-great-grandparents on both sides, grandmother, grandfather. And so really that storytelling was passed down for him. And he got it, a lot of socialization, because that's what storytelling is, really getting past that awkwardness, being able to talk to other people, easily converse. I had the same thing, coming from a big family, and we were always put in a position to lead. We had those opportunities in my family. And so it was nothing for either of us, Corey and myself, to be in front of people. So then when we went through our formal education, me as a nurse, him as a radiologist, and then later with his university studies, it was really just the polishing of, oh, okay, we picked up some skills here and there. And we had also worked with theater companies along the way, taking a lot of workshops, making sure we honed our craft, because, everything is education, whether you learn it on the job, whether you learn it just in a room, and then you go practice it. Really, that OJT is what it is. So we had a lot of that even before,
plays.
like Corey said, the plays, because, in college, and by the time we started Atum Pan, we were in our early 20s. So
yeah, the playwriting came in midstream in college. There was this inflammatory event that happened in the university newspaper that challenged why people call themselves African Americans and that they should just call themselves Americans. And I remember I wrote a poem in response to it. I didn't publish it or I didn't do anything with it. I was going to read it at an open mic. But the more I wrote, the longer it got until it evolved into a stage play. And I had so much fun writing it. But then I just said, this is going to be one of those things to stay. This is how old I am. It's going to stay on this 3x5 floppy disk and never go anywhere. Until one day I showed it to Laquita, and then she read it all the way through in one sitting. She was like, she laughed. She was like,
I could see it.
Yeah,
it was impeccable. I could see it on the stage as I was reading through it. I was like, oh.
And when she finished, she gave us long. I said, "What'd you think?" She paused. She said, "We got to produce this." She said, "This is too good to sit on this floppy disk." And I was like,
floppy disk. That was a floppy disk back in the day.
You done got all my young engineers. They don't know what that is. We tell them our age, see. We done told our age. They like, what they talking about, Uncle? So what's a floppy disk?
Right.
They all sitting there Googling floppy disk. OG Patrice know what a floppy disk is. He just came in.
Right. Hey, OG Patrice.
Hey, Patrice.
As content creators, that is a skill, but also can it be taught? Can it be learned how to really tell stories? Because really, that's what we do every day when we get on here. We're trying to tell a story to get people to understand the main points of a thought or an idea. Where can storytelling be taught? Attention to Millionaire is close to telling his age. He said the 3x5.
Yep. I want to add something real quick to that, because Wally's like, "Oh, y'all old," and so Wally is the one that he's a great example of, like, it can be taught, but there's a lot of naturalness in there, because Wally is such a ham, right? And when you talk with Wally, it's like he can flow between different conversations, between different age groups, and he stands his ground too. He's like, no, but this is what I meant.
Yeah.
And so, he'll like explain, like, no, this is what I meant. And I think that's a really good part of being a storyteller, knowing your information, really knowing, okay, what message am I giving? Who am I talking to?
What am I telling
Hold on a second. Did we freeze again?
No, I can see you and hear you.
Okay, sorry about that.
So you said, who are we talking to?
Yeah, who are we talking to?
What are we telling them?
What are we telling them? Why? You ask those who, what, where, whys. Like when we used to do that in school, I don't know if they still do, because we know we're telling our age. But those are really the basics of storytelling: who, what, when, where, why. And then depending on who you're talking to, if you're talking to a man, you got to expedite it, because they're like, who, what, when, where, why, for real. No fluff, no in between stuff. Just give me the story. And I grew up with, my dad, my 3 brothers. I saw that in real life. Plenty of men around me, family members, uncles and stuff, cousins. And then the same thing when you're talking to a woman, they don't mind the details. When you're talking to a mixed crowd, okay, I have to hit it. I have to have my purpose, and I have to give them what they want. They all came here for a specific reason. Are they here at a show or a presentation? Are they here at just like a speakeasy, a cafe? Because Corey and I have definitely performed at artistic venues where it's like, it felt like a speakeasy, but I think we ain't that old. We're not that old yet.
Like a cabaret.
Yeah.
And the way I tell it is like this. Anybody that is in a relationship or has been in a relationship recently, just put a 1 in the chat, whether you're married.
How you gonna talk to his chat?
I'm because I'm talking
Uncle
to the
Stu
people. I'm
is-
talking.
You see, I get pumped. Go ahead, Corey. You got permission.
Shut up. Thank you, Steve. 2 minutes talking.
Y'all
No.
follow Corey. Go ahead. What was the question, Corey?
So the question was, if you've been in a relationship, married, dating, put a 1 in the chat, and we'll give it a minute because it's the reason why I'm asking that. I'm asking that question for a specific reason because I tell everybody this. And you see any ones coming in yet?
You know what? See, Brown Eyes trying to call me out.
Yeah, see, brown eyes. We're coming up there. No. All caps. That's right, brown eyes. Got my back.
Black Tropical Homestead said 1. Brown Eyes trying to call me out. But
Black
I did
said, Corey, do you
eventually
see
get
my
a
one?
1. Look, Corey. I'm gonna put it on punishment.
Damn. Time out.
I'm gonna get a watch.
Wait, no. The question is just if you've been in a relationship,
if you've
right?
been in a relationship, if you've been in a relationship, whether you're married or you in a relationship, if you married, dating, just put a 1 in the chat. And there's a reason why I'm gonna say this. You'll see the reason in a minute when it comes to
Look, Black Tropical Homestead got jokes. They said, Corey, can you see my 1?
I sure can.
And then you would actually say yes, right?
Yeah, I see the 2 too.
You know what? Guess what, Corey? You tell them the truth. Coffee Talking Tech, put a 2 in the chat.
Absolutely.
Eddie, yeah. Oh, you got a whole bunch of 1s coming into the chat.
All right, good. So now
you gotta say hi to Andale.
Hey, Andale. I got to like, hi, Andale. My name is Corey, and I just think you're just the sweetest lady in all of YouTube.
No,
Andale. You know, she say sugar. She reminded me of my grandma, sugar.
She is a sweet person.
You gonna mess around? Andale gonna unsubscribe from me. Be like, see, he didn't protect me. I'm gonna leave Uncle Stu platform alone.
And guys, Andale is just the sweetest pie on that show, and I would love to see what setting your dog collar is on. Is it on Beat, Buzz, or Shock, Andale?
Oh yeah, she got that Shock collar for the dog. Yep.
Well, the reason when y'all get a chance, y'all go check out Amazing M&G. She does a lot of cooking, but guess where she does it at? In Jamaica. She's actually filming and doing her production right there in Jamaica. So she got a nice little production, and she don't play with them bugs neither. You know, she got a couple where she had to swat some stuff, but no, she got it's a good family Jamaican home channel. It's beautiful.
Thank you for that, because you know I love food.
And Jamaican food is excellent.
Absolutely.
But now the reason I asked everybody to put a 1 in the chat that's been in a relationship or is in a relationship is because if you are in a relationship, you are a storyteller naturally. Because I tell everybody, if you are a man, you have to tell one hell of a story to get her to say yes, I'll be with you. And if you a woman, you had to put on one hell of a show to get him to ask. So we're all natural born storytellers especially when it comes to relationships. So you could take some of those same things, you know, when you go out to go out on a date. When I first met her, it was like, okay, what am I going to say? That's the what. Why am I saying it? It's because I think she's beautiful and I want to spend time with her. I enjoy her company and she's a great conversationalist. Number 3.
Wait, what was that? The why?
That was the why.
Okay.
And then the who, of course, you got to start with the who actually. The who it was Laquita Marie. She was this fantastic young lady full of energy with a beautiful smile, pretty eyes. And now I'll leave the rest alone. But those are questions I had to answer as I built my approach to say, okay, what exactly am I going to say to her, and how am I going to say it? And that's how I developed, I guess for lack of better words, the story that I told to get her to say, hey, yeah, I'll go out with you on a date. And so, like I said, it's all about we're always presenting ourselves And it's like I said, and the most basic form of presentation I always say is think about the relationships that you're in, how you present to those. That's an audience. Your mother, your father, that's an audience. Your uncles, your aunts, that's an audience. Your neighbors, your friends, that's the audience. Your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your spouse,
The
that's an
people at
audience.
the store
The,
down the street.
the people, because like I said, we we tell you, whenever you're presenting your public face people, you are telling a story because if you're just a ratchet mess at home, the idea is that when you go to a job interview, I know things have changed these days, but when you go to a job interview, you cut the ratchetity down to zero and you present that professional side of yourself. That's a story.
Is ratchetity a word?
It's gonna be today.
Okay.
That's story. but that's storytelling. You're storytelling. You're performing. You're being a performative storyteller because you're presenting the best side of yourself, which is not all completely you.
Right.
But then when you go home, you turn the ratchetity back up, turn the professionalism down, or in my case, you turn the country up, you turn the professionalism back down, and then you can be yourself again. You don't have to tell that story because the audience at home is a different audience. Quita is used to hearing me say Tane Y and YFO and what come cheer, get cheer, and
all the
country stand I'm used to say, but I would never come on to let's say if Coffee Talk and Tech asked me to come on and talk about our camera setups and things, which I'm pretty sure he wouldn't because I don't know anything about camera setups. But I wouldn't go up there talking about, man, Tane why you have 13 cameras, just get here with your phone and then everybody watch you anyway. And I wouldn't talk like that. I was like, yes, it's very necessary to have more than one camera angle when you're trying to do a single, instead of just doing a single camera layout.
Wait a minute, did we freeze again, Uncle Stu?
No, I can hear you.
All right, cool.
So
thank you.
That was the whole impetus for me asking everybody to put one in the chat that's been in a relationship, because if you've been in any kind of relationship, then you have told the story before.
And so look, that's the long answer to your question, Uncle Stu. Can storytelling be learned? Is this something that people can adapt to or a skill they can acquire? And really, we can achieve so much in this lifetime, all of us, any of us, right? So that means that when we are here looking at, okay, Uncle Stu, he's got a show going on. He's lining up guests. He's got channel art. He has an intro. He got a microphone. Uncle Stu got a background, a set. Can I do that? Absolutely. All of us can achieve. If somebody else has already done it, then that's how you know it can be done, right?
Right.
And so that's kind of the way we've approached things in our marriage, in this life together. We have 3 children, and we have them together, literally together, not just, we did the harmonious dance and all of that. When I was in labor, Corey was saying that. Because you know how people be like, of course you had them together, right. Like boom. But I'm saying, like, Corey was in there. He was in the delivery room, and I preferred to have our children naturally because I had seen my sisters do it, and I was like, well, they're still alive. They look okay.
Are you trying to say that was a big mistake?
Corey, he said, are you trying to say it was a big mistake heading in there?
Oh, no. I wouldn't have missed that for the world, because actually, I knew I wanted, from day one, when she said, hey, guess what? And she told me the news, I was in love with those children from that moment on. So I was going, there was not a plane, train, atomic bomb, hurricane that was going to stop me from being in the delivery room. Even though I couldn't see the baby being born, I was there, and I was going to be a part of it, because that's me. That's part of 50% me that was being born. So
and that was another part of why I said, well, let's go the natural route, because anything can happen with medications, epidurals. People still have back pains to this day. I didn't want that, and so Corey was right there with me, and so
I had strict orders. Don't let them do anything to me. No C-sections, no drugs.
I did not have him without a collar like that.
Well, I'll tell you, I am a father that watched both of my kids being born. Mm-hmm. It is a sight, it is an experience, it is a connectivity that is just absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing to see actual life coming into the world, and to watch them clean them up and, put them in the mother's arms. And then, of course, she's kind of out of it by that time. And you're in there holding your child. So, uh,
Mhm.
yeah, you just gave me a beautiful flashback. So, I don't want everybody to think Uncle Stu about to get mushy. So,
It's good though.
Yeah.
Uncle Stu, you got to admit, like you just admitted, it's a really good thing, and it's a proud moment.
That first cry, nothing ever can replace the sound of that baby's first cry to know, say, "Hey, I am here and I'm alive and I'm ready for the world."
yeah.
Now, about 10 days later, when that cry is coming at 3 o'clock in the morning,
Let's do it for him, Corey. You're telling the kids, shut up.
don't work on the newborn.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, definitely. And the funny part is, my oldest daughter, when she was born, she opened up her eyes and her eyes was hazel
Mm.
in color, and it was like, oh my God,
Mm-hmm.
so it was awesome. So if she's listening in the back, she understands, now she got these big light brown eyes. So, we good. But yeah, she was born in the world with big old hazel eyes and, so yeah, it's an experience that, I really would encourage, but again, I can't even get them to stay together in the 9 months that she's pregnant. So we struggling now. We struggling. Um,
Right.
but Corey, you said something, and Laquita, you said something. Communication, and on these YouTube streets, um, and that's on both sides. Communication between men and women is horrible.
Mm.
I'm not going to put it all on women. I'm not going to put it all on, but just the communication is horrible. What can we start doing to fix the communication where one person is talking, the other person is actually listening without trying to quickly respond in conversation? Because I can imagine what they're doing in relationships.
Mm. I think that's the whole point of what we've already said is you got to communicate. Like in order to communicate, you got to communicate, which means you have to practice it. You have to watch other people do it. You have to say, okay, excuse me, for me, I've learned so much just from watching how other parents talk to their children. The way we grew up, it was like, if your parents told you something, you didn't really question it, you didn't ask, but why, you knew not to do that. And I saw other parents asking their children questions. Our parents really didn't ask us a lot of questions. They kind of were just letting us know, oh, we need this done, get that done. They didn't ask, hey, when can you get this done? Or which one do you want to do first? Which is a tactic we use on our kids. Oh, GT Jr. is here too, Corey.
Yeah, all the way from Alaska, y'all. We getting them. We getting them.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, I would say I got asked a lot of questions by my parents,
Yeah.
and it's usually in the form of my dad saying, "Now, why did you do that? And why did you think it was a good idea?" Takes off belt, snaps it together, and he would let me explain, but it usually I was already tried and sentenced before the question was even asked.
Well, see, that's different because you were the only child. You didn't have anybody else to blame, all of that. But I definitely will say that, really watching other people communicate and not looking at, like Corey said, the rigidity. If you see that happening, that's not the proper way to communicate. It never works out right. When you see
Right.
these folks hollering, losing their minds and all of this kind of stuff, look at some examples and practice it. And then also clarifying questions help a lot. So we'll give you a good example. Oh my goodness, we used to work like slaves at harvest, it felt like, but it was good work, right? So when I say slaves at harvest, we just had so many shows and we loved it. So we would be booked for about 60 shows between March and June, which meant that takes a lot of communication to get it right, to make sure we're not missing anything, we're on time. And we had people childcare, yeah, because our children, we just started having them like 15 years ago, and we've been together so long. So in order to get that done, we said, okay, let's look at who else has done this before so that we can set the paperwork right. Then that also took us saying, so that's what I mean by looking at other people. How are they doing it? What's going on? When there was a mistake made, I saw how those people handled it. So there was another person I had worked with who was already working the tours, and it was a very affluent lifestyle, but it took some work and communication was key. So once I got that part down, then it was like, okay, what else do we do with this? We also had to look at how do we handle people from around the country? Somebody from Alaska, somebody from Colorado, people from Florida, and Mexico, Arkansas, people coming from all these different places. How are they interacting with each other? And we noticed there was a certain level of respect that was always given, so we weren't going to change that, right? And that also helped us to see, like, what are some of the ways that we can communicate better, with each other? Because at this point we've been married 15, 20 years, at that point, or 15, I would say right around 12 to 15 years, somewhere around there, or less. It was more like 8 to 12 years.
Well, let's see, Brooklyn was like 3.
No, because we didn't have Christiana yet.
Yeah, she came along the year afterwards.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So that's why
I'm talking about for the tours.
Yeah, like when we were busy and getting into all that and really saying, okay, we've been communicating, but this is like a new level of communication. If we want to manage this, we were already doing theater. We already had our dance theater going. We already had festivals and our other gigs and bookings. And this was like another block on top of that. So really looking at, okay, we're going to have to deal with each other because we're always together. So that was another part, just always being together. How do you work through that? And really, we've had a lot of conversations, on those car rides. And that's where I say, practicing it, like really and truly living it and doing it. But Corey, I've been talking a lot. You can also chime in and let the people know if I'm lying or not, or add anything else that you want.
No, but
you know what?
Well, I'm going to tell you because, I can get personal. Like I said, I love the stage play. I love the way that y'all interacted. I love the fact we didn't come home with nothing but some good clothes. I got me some good clothes. But y'all has been awesome. And like I said, everybody don't know that as content creators, we're real people behind these cameras. And y'all have definitely showed yourselves to be real. I'm going to drop the chat, and anybody that want to come up, celebrate, because if you go on their channel, you're going to have to be called, and they're just going to read you in the chat. You finally get to talk to them face to face, show them some love. I know I got moderators in the chat. Make sure you put their YouTube page in the channel, and y'all go subscribe. They brought a whole crew over here, so I hope the crew subscribes. But yes, now while we waiting on people to come up, here's the other part that everybody don't know. What everybody don't know is that y'all are vegans. Oh, we got somebody driving and on camera. So we already know. Ladies and gentlemen, do not do a live and drive. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Junior.
I am not looking at the chat or the camera. We always multitask, but like Uncle Stu said, don't do it. Yeah, but I seen y'all online and I'm like, I wanted to say, hey, that's all that is. Hey. How you doing, Mr. Corey?
I'm doing good, Junior.
This seems like a very interesting conversation that y'all are having about being able to communicate.
What what do you have to add to that? Would you add? What part of that did you feel really stuck out to you?
Well, I have something to add. I don't know if it's going to be. Well, what I do in my communication with many different people of different forms and how they are, how their conscious level as well is I use jokes. Sometimes I have to ignore because some things are not relevant for a response. Um, so those are my main things when it's confrontational. Nope, 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 nope. That's not true. That's not true. I fight back. I fight back. It's
Let me
kind of
ask
hard.
That's a
Go
good
ahead.
question, though. You said you fight back. How do you fight back?
I don't use curse words. I attack whatever the misinformation they're giving. I've been in a relationship for 11 years now, and my wife has never had a man like me before. And sometimes she gets combative, and I tried jokes in the beginning. I tried to ignore in the beginning. I've tried different tactics, and it seemed that the more I avoided it, the more it escalated. And then
Mm-hmm.
I would fight back, and I would tell her how she was wrong, and I would use I statements instead of you statements. I communicate very well, but sometimes I get engulfed in who I used to be, which was single. So I've been working on that for the last 10 years, just to calm my responses down because she's never dealt with a man like me before.
Let me ask you a question. No
Yeah.
woman has ever dealt with any man like the man they've been with. We are all different men. So
Yes.
the first thing we gotta stop is our own arrogance. I'm telling you, as an older man who has been just through like Corey, military, I've taught college and now doing YouTube. You know what's the first thing you said? She never dealt with a man like me. And guess what? The fact of the matter is, what other man is like you? So, do you think
None.
that some of the triggers or some of the combativeness is because she hasn't dealt with a man like you that hasn't taken the time to understand why she's saying what she's saying? I don't
I'm
want
gonna say
YouTube. I don't want YouTube talking points. I destroy talking points.
no.
I
I
got
don't do that.
deeper
I'm,
dive
I'm being one.
questions.
I'm being authentic. What
Right.
I believe is that she's never. I believe that she's never been in a relationship that has this much volume where we're in close quarters with each other, and that's hard for her to adjust to. That's what I believe. I've been in relationships, um, and this is the first relationship where I done gave 100% of myself. All my other relationships, I've always give partial because I was a different man, but now I'm invested into this. So I give it my all. And I think there's a breakdown because I've lived with me and women have cohabitated a lot, a few times, I've had a lot of relationships, but um, I think it's more of her maturity and I've worked through relationships, so I've had experiences with those. So I try to work with the tools that I have, and it just wasn't panning out.
Mm.
This is good. And I don't want you to feel attacked. I don't want you to
I
feel
ain't
I'm taking
I
sides.
ain't scared of nobody. Bring
My
it. Help
question,
me help
my,
myself.
sure. My next question is you said, and tell me if I'm right or wrong. You said, because this needs to go back to Corey and them, but you said she is this way, or this is what she. You're giving me your analysis. My next question is, has she told you that?
Has she told me what on what particular point?
Any point that you have made, everything
Yes,
you said has been your
yes,
views and your opinions. She has told
Yes.
you. My next question is,
Yes.
how much therapy have both of y'all gotten?
Before we got married, we got therapy because I believe that if I'm gonna say I do, then there's certain things that we must establish so that we can make sure that this is for life. I'm
Now,
not
my
gonna say it.
question is, in the marriage, how much therapy have you gotten?
It's something going on now. Yes,
All right.
I didn't do this. Okay, sorry.
No. You're on point. Your answers is exactly on point. You're making this a teachable moment. You doing good. You doing
I
good. The
I didn't
teachable
do this.
moment is
I
this.
didn't. Sorry.
Yeah, no. The teachable quick moment is this. When we're living in our singleness, we might get therapy, but a lot of stuff don't come out until we are married. And then all those areas, who I am, who someone else is, come together to merge. Sometimes there's some stuff that's in us we don't know is in us until you come together as one. And then all of them areas begin to surface. What say blind guy, his wife? What do you got to say on that?
Yeah, and I can agree with a lot of things that GT Junior said and a lot of things that you say, Uncle Stu. For one, what GT Junior was talking about as far as jokes, ignoring something, or I forgot what the third method was, but basically he was you have to know your audience, and that's whether you're talking about relationships, stage play productions, also with YouTube content creating. On our channel, Blind Guy, His Wife, Their Life. We do our live show every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and we have to know our audience, and we have to know not just the audience, but we have to know the actual guests that we're bringing on, know something about them, so that we can use the jokes at the right time. Or if there's a comment that comes in on the channel that's maybe people say a troll, we know to ignore those comments. Or if there's somebody that makes a real relevant point, we know to take the humor out and then get serious at that point in time and have a conversation about it. So it goes all across the board. Know your audience.
And I think from what GT Junior is saying too, he knows, he knew his wife. He knows who he's dealing with. He's living with her every day, and it's not just a matter of the modern day women aren't submissive and all of that. Real life will just, it ebbs and flows, and as things change, you just manage your situations. It's never as simple as one thing or the other. Oh, you got to say hello to Spit and Fire, Corey.
Yes. I was trying to hold up on that. Ladies and gentlemen, the woman of the hour in the chat, Spitting Fire. She normally will have fire flames going all up and down the chat. Salute to you. I am so happy to see that you are doing well. I'm glad your health is getting back in order. Tell your daughter I said hello. Big Unc is still doing his thing. So salute to Spitting Fire. We'll be definitely reaching out to you soon. Thank you.
Now,
yeah, she big time. She gets to hang out with famous basketball players, and she big time. You just don't talk with Spitting Fire. She got layers to this thing.
That's it. We feel you.
Now, Uncle Stu, I wanted to say something about one of the points you made, and that is we bring a lot of mess into relationships. And that's why I say God has to have a sense of humor, because he allows two people to join together with a whole bunch of mess, and two messes together make one big hot mess. And, for example, Laquita, like she said before, she's one of 9. I'm one of 1. So our conflict resolution styles, our communication styles can be completely different.
Yeah.
And the way that you manage that is to understand that from the bat that, Laquita is one of 9. So she's used to, let's hash this out, let's talk this out, let's argue this out, whatever we got to do. And then we still going to be cool because we got to live together. We got to ride in that van together. We got to eat breakfast together. We got to be in that house together as a child. Now, for me.
Hold on, did you say something? Oh, I thought I heard. Okay.
No, what happened was Zan the man had his mic on. I had just had to mute his mic because y'all saying exactly what I wanted everybody to really hear, because you got some people that listen to GT Grove say, it's this. And all of a sudden, all these retarded talking points will start coming up. And that's not what he's saying.
I
What
wouldn't
GT
even
is saying is, I love my wife. I'm working through all of the issues that we have. That's what I wanted some people to hear, that she is this way, but we're working through those issues little by little. How are we working through it? We're communicating. I'm trying to bring in more jokes. I'm even going to therapy. I'm working through this thing. I'm not just, okay, you can bat if I'm out, I'm close the door. He's never talking in talking points. That's why I said, don't ever feel like you're getting beat up. Uncle Stu is trying to use a little extra wisdom to show the example of how we need to sometimes talk, because we don't know what our spouse might be going through and she's never learned how to talk it out. Now, I ain't talking about straight up abuse, y'all. Hey, y'all know I'm sensitive on that part, but you know what I'm saying? That communication. What's the trigger? Why did I say this? Why did it trigger you in this thing? So love it, love it, love it. What else you got to add, GT Groves?
I love my wife, so I'm putting in the work. If I didn't love her, then if I didn't go to with her, I actually wouldn't have put so much effort into it. But I know what I was doing before I even met her. So I tried to get rid of a lot of things that I knew was going to hinder me from having a fruitful marriage. So that's what I did. And when I seen, before we even got married, it was by law, I said, I'm not marrying anybody before 5 years. I wanted what she would do when finances got low, when she faced all kinds of adversities. Because it's easy to test somebody when they've studied, but when they haven't studied, that's when the real test comes about. So that's what I tried to put in the forefront.
Right. Salute to you. Let me give you my claps. Salute. I love it. Look, y'all know I had to get this expensive machine working, right? Certain people that operate, that's supposed to be in administration, she get a little sensitive about how money flows around here. So I got to make it work. All right, Zan the man.
What's up, guys? How you doing? Hello, everybody.
Zan the man.
Hey, listen, Uncle Stu, you always do a great show. Great show. Blind guy, his wife, Laquita, Corey, I had to stop in and say hello to you guys real quick. I'm supposed to be on my show right now, but I had to come in and say hello. So I just want to say hi and bye real quick, but communication is the key to everything. Hey, guys, anything these guys say, listen to them, because they have the proof. They have the success. They got the track record. Hello, let's go. Guys, thank you so much. I got to go, but I just want to come in and say hello to everybody real quick. Okay.
Thank you, Zan.
Thank you.
Y'all know
All right,
Zan got
guys.
18 years of marriage. He knows Zan has been married. His wife is happily married 18 years. So he can, you got some.
And he still got a smile on his face.
Hey, listen, man, when you get to be with family, come on, man. What more is there?
Yes.
You're happy, you're healthy. I'm not going to say wealthy, but I make good money. She makes good money. We've been together 19 years this year. Well, 19 years Christmas of 2021. But, come on, let's keep it going,
Yep.
Yeah.
And when you hang around good people, you hang around good people, come on, man. You can't help. I mean, you got to be happy. Come on, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I got to go. Okay, see you guys.
All right. Thank you.
All right,
Much love.
Let me ask you something, Groves, and try to connect that with Blind Guy, his wife. What you're seeing online, how much of it would you say a lot of people got a lot of misconceptions when it comes to marriage and relationships? Because you have 10 years?
11.
I have about 11 years of being with my wife. I have about 4 or 5 years. Let me see, 2017. We're gonna hit 4 years in June.
Okay.
Yeah. Repeat the question again, if you don't mind, Uncle Stu.
Yeah. The question is for a lot of things that's going on online. You know, a lot of people got all these different ideals of what a marriage is, what a man's supposed to be, what a woman's supposed to be. How do you kind of navigate through that, through those communications and through those talking points? How much of it would you say is real? How much would you say is garbage? How much would you say, as the young folks say, is just people capping?
um, mm, I don't know. I can't put a percentage on it. I don't know. I just think that if you really want it, you got to work at it.
Yep.
That's one thing that I can for sure say. And there's nothing wrong with going through therapy, because some things you can't understand, some things you can't assist with because it's above your pay grade. So you got to have enough knowledge to understand that and say, you know what, let's seek some help so that we can, continue our journey together. That's what I say. I don't know.
No, I think that's an excellent statement. How would you and Corey answer that question?
Go ahead, Corey. You can answer, because I always have something to say. Go ahead. I talk a lot.
Yeah. Excuse me. I think, like Junior said, you gotta be willing to put in the work. And like I said, because I think a rapper named Common Sense said it best: "A relationship is effort, I match your work." So if you go into it knowing that it's not going to be a bed of roses, it's not going to be peaches and cream, and every day, or and it goes hour by hour. And like I said, but it's really not about. First of all, get the idea of just being in love. That's the mainstay, because love is an emotion. Emotions change. I can love you one minute and then not like you the next minute, depending on what's going on.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to put in the work.
GT Junior nod like, oh yeah.
you got to be right. You got to be willing to put in the work to say, okay, you know what, I'm in this to win this, and it's going to be some stuff that I'm gonna have to absorb and deal with in working through this, and it's gonna be some stuff that she's gonna have to absorb and deal with in order to be in this relationship. But we're gonna agree, say, okay, we're not gonna let that be the point that divides and conquer us. And I think that's part of the problem that you see played out. And a lot of it is drama, manufactured drama that you see. But a lot of
drama is a popular narrative, a very popular narrative. So that if Corey and I were up here saying, okay, you know what, I had my children naturally, and the truth is, and we came out with something. Well, we really, what really helped me was I had a street dealer that was giving me stuff off the street, and that's how I dealt with it. That's what people want to hear.
That is not true.
It's not true, right? Mm-hmm. It's not true, but that's what. Then people flood the scene, right? People run with the story. People love the narrative of
that. Might be a business for you, GT Junior grows anesthetics for pregnant women.
right.
And remind you, do not drive and be on somebody live. Lord, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yep, get it done, right? But just saying, like, the unpopular narrative is, like, Corey and I, we tend to be solution oriented because we have so much going on, and we choose to have all of those things going on, and we choose what we want in our lives. So when we, sort of like what Zan the man was saying, he's still smiling because he stays with good people. I have a huge family. I don't deal with everybody in my family because not everybody is where that's not where my interest is. They right. want to do this. I don't have to be with them just because we're related. But you'll have people, they'll let their family members continue to drag them down. And I've done that where I said, oh, well, I got to make them happy. So we're going to go anyways, even though we know this person doesn't like this person, or this person has a new boyfriend. Well, let's just go anyways. Let's just put up with it. Let's just, find a way. And that's how people wind up saying, yeah, I ended up taking 3 shots to deal with the people. And those 3 shots, left me loopy. I had a headache the next day. the people still got on my nerves or whatever.
It's a personality thing too, because Laquita is a giver. She's a giver. She loves to give. And I told her, she used to fuss at me because I said, you give too much. Then you get mad at people because they took too much. That's because you own that child and you never had to share that. She would go into that. But my philosophy is, you might call me a some bitch, but you're going to have to call me long distance to do it. I ain't got to deal with you.
Right.
And so I would get the scissors and snip, 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 cut people off with the quickness.
Yeah.
Because that's just the way I roll. But in doing that, I think we've learned from each other. She's learned that the scissors are okay for certain people. I've learned that I can't use the scissors on everybody just because of one or two instances. So we've learned from each other and we've grown with each other. And I think that's one of the biggest keys is to pull from the strengths of the other person. And then in doing that, you make yourself a better person for them and they make themselves a better person for you. And you both become a better people for the community around you. And that's why, that's what we strive to put together. Whenever we go on the stage and put on a presentation, whether we're on our channel, we're interviewing a guest or providing information, we strive to put our best version of ourselves forward and drawing each other's strengths instead of just constantly focusing on, what might be a challenge for that other person to deal with.
Yeah. And I will finish with this, having to deal with so many people, you got to keep your relationship right, because when we're managing other people, so like when we had all these shows that we were doing in person, not just the dance theater where you have to manage a cast, you have to say, okay, the director is doing this, the choreographer is doing that. We have rehearsals on these nights. We got a schedule. That's all business stuff. But you got to deal with all the different personalities, the people's excuses, their reasons for things. And then on the other side, with our other side of our business, we also said we have a lot of folks to deal with over here too. And so we can't be letting these people come between us, saying, oh, so-and-so said you allowed them to come in at this time and the schedule says this, and we were expecting them, to perform. We've already discussed it. We already got our story together between the two of us. So that's another way we've really kept it, the lines of communication open, kept our business straight as far as we know what's going on. We know how it's going. That's the only way to really be successful. And a lot of people, though, they want the excuses. They want a reason to say, oh, what had happened was we were going to do this, but we couldn't get it done because, well, we have a lot of accomplishments under our belt. We know what it feels like. So it's really hard for us, Corey and myself, to say, I don't think I'm going to get that done. I don't know if we can. Black's Tropical Homestead says truth, choose your circle wisely. And we made it a point when we went to New Orleans a few weeks ago to strategize our travels so that we could see them, we could visit them where they were in Georgia. Those are the types of things we'll do in our lives. And people, they don't realize you can choose those things. You're the orchestrator of your life. You don't have to be in the nonsense. You don't have to be in the mess, the muck and mire, or whatever other term people want to put on it. It's you in the driver's seat. At the end of the day, it's your life. So we choose
A blind guy,
his wife,
their life.
It's I'm gonna tap into this because I can relate so well. Although I do have a sister, I'm always going to acknowledge my sister. I love her. I'm struggling, but I love her. But real talk, I grew up as an only child. Because my sister wasn't born until I was 16. So basically, I grew up as an only child.
Yeah.
And I understand only child mentality, which is I'm good all by myself.
You sound like you.
I don't need all these family I can go to my cousin and them, chill, and come home, and I am totally happy.
Yeah.
Totally happy. And I think that is a struggle for anybody that comes from a big family.
Yeah, and I can co-sign on that one because, and I'll finish with this one, is because, like I said, good example. I think it took Laquita 2, 3, 4, 5 years to figure out that my birthday was not the biggest deal in the world to me.
Because Corey's birthday is 2 days before Christmas.
And she used to think it was like, oh, you just feel bad because your birthday is 2 days before Christmas and everybody's broke and frustrated and out there Christmas shop. I was like, no, for real, I'm good. And I think I told her one story. I said, I remember I was 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
My parents took me to the arcade and gave me a $10 bill.
And wait, tell my age again.
Yeah, I'm about to tell it. This is back when video games were 25 cents a piece. I went in there and I'll say it the G-rated
And
version.
they didn't have claw games. They had real games you could play. Games.
I tell everybody that was the best experience without a woman I ever had in my life.
Oh, you was playing? That's Pac-Man. That was
no. I was a little bit ahead of that. I was
Pac-Man was still out.
Yeah, but I was playing other games like Street Fighter and
Mortal Kombat.
Some of those games. No, not Mortal Kombat. Not Mortal Kombat.
That was in the arcade.
Not at 10 years old, was it?
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
So, but yeah,
I'm telling my age, it was all right.
But that simple story, it kind of it clicked for her, and she was like, "Oh, okay." So she really understood simplicity. I remember one time for a Christmas gift. This is back when we were actually consuming meat and animal products. She bought the girls a bunch of gifts, and then she bought me a gobbler from a certain gas station / restaurant, and that was like the best gift I ever got for a birthday / Christmas.
A gobbler? What's a gobbler?
It's a sandwich, a sub sandwich, turkeys, cranberry sauce, stuffings, dressing, whatever you call it.
That was gravy. When we were eating meat.
Yeah, all in the same sub. And so, like I said, she began to realize that, that was, again, one of those things of being an only child. I'm good with being okay. I'm okay with not having a big, crowd of people around me. I'm good just kind of being by myself or within a very close circle of people. And so, again, that's one of those times where communication, sharing allows you to learn from one another, and then you can adapt and adjust to one another. So, but it's been awesome being here with you, Uncle Stu. We appreciate you having us.
Hey, that is not a problem. I know y'all on a tight time schedule, so I'm going to make sure that Uncle Stu is going to shut down the stream unless some of the people in here say, Uncle Stu, I got this question. Then I'm going to let the question be. But
we're open. We are open to questions. Definitely, we encourage questions because, we don't want people to feel like, they're a closed book. And of course, we aren't going to give deep details, but
baby, I liked it raw.
See, and I should have known, Black Tropic. I should have known they was going to say this. I love my husband. Our animals, people are okay sometimes. Let me put everybody up in the chat. They have a beautiful channel where they actually grow their own food. They actually grow their own meats and vegetables. So, if you really want to understand, because we're coming and we're probably going to do something like this, we have to understand that sooner or later, you got to know how to farm your own food and do your own agriculture and whatnot. So, hey, y'all go ahead and Vaughn, I know you up here. Vaughn, make sure you put Black Home Tropical Homestead in the chat. Look, I'm going to give my shout on this right now. I've been trying to get him on the show, Vaughn. It's for an interview with me. I can't see, they got their 1K. We got our 1Ks at the same time, Vaughn. Just putting it out there on the table, Vaughn.
Wow. Listen, I would be remiss if I did not get on here and acknowledge these two right here.
Oh, thank you.
Quita and Corey, you all have such a beautiful spirit. I love your show whenever I am up to watch it, but I just love the energy that you all bring. And it's so positive, and I just want to encourage you guys to continue. And I believe that your channel is even going to be bigger than what it is, but you guys bring such great content, and it's always a learning experience also whenever I'm on your, whenever I'm, able to watch your streams.
Well, let me ask you this then, Vaughn.
Yes,
ma'am. What is it about the show? And I say this because, of course, Corey and I, we cut up, we have a good time, But we always bring a guest on because we don't want to be the experts or just the voice that people are listening to. And when we come on to interviews like this, I feel like we give people that sense of, oh Lord, if I go to their stream, what will they be talking about all day long? They're gonna be over there holding hands and singing or something. So I don't know. You tell me, what is it about us that you've enjoyed or that you can appreciate or that you feel like other people would enjoy, I guess.
Well, you both of you and your streams, number one, you bring good content, and then you have guests on who we can all benefit from the information that they're giving. Another thing that I really admire about your channel is that it ain't 8 hours, and you're consistent with, maybe 1 to 1.5 hours. So I can, devote that little bit of time that I have at that time to hear what it is that you're trying to promote, and then the way that you all engage with your audience and the chat, I mean, Quita is so good at reading the chat. It's like poetry when she reads it. I mean, she makes it sound so good, And then Corey, he has his jokes, and he's just like he's on point. He so it's so much that you all bring to the table, and it is so refreshing to see that. These YouTube streets can be quite cold, and believe me, I've been out in some of these areas, and some of them are, they don't present that positiveness that you all do. And so it is so refreshing. I'm sorry.
No, excuse me, real quick. Everybody give it up for the lead attorney.
Oh, okay, right.
Hey, TLA. How are you doing, brother?
Lead.
Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Okay.
Okay,
Awesome.
continue on. I'm sorry.
It's okay. You got to give way to the lead now. Come on, he is the lead.
Yeah, look, he punked up now. He's the big. He's the
man. He's the man. Shout out to the lead attorney. Yeah, but I will end this just by simply saying that I do appreciate what you guys do on your channel, and definitely it makes me want to watch each time that I can. Because it is such a safe place. And I know when I get there, it's not going to be chaos. It is very well structured. You know what I'm saying? Even when it comes to the time and the length of it, And, sometimes we do want to, kind of get into an 8-hour stream and get into some deep stuff. But you all make the point, you get your point across. And you are an example to show that you don't have to do 8-hour streams to get a point across.
Yeah, that's our goal.
So I love you guys. I just wanted to get on and say that. I thought I would be remiss if I did not say something. And hopefully one day I can win one of those giveaways, which I never have done yet.
Hey, you know what? You ain't have to say that.
Rigged, rigged. No,
I ain't gonna say nothing else about that.
No, we appreciate you on. You always have the best commentary, and you're grounded. And I mean, hey, we appreciate it. We need solid brothers like you.
Thank you, Vaughn.
Thank you.
No matter how late you are to the stream, you still the man.
Yeah, I know I'm always late. All right, God bless.
God bless you too, man. Uncle Stu,
yes,
I gotta do it. If your spouse is acting up, get the lead attorney. He won't let you get jacked up. He's a lead attorney.
That's a jingle.
That's the jingle. You owe me $500 for that jingle.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna tell everybody in the chat before Black Tropical Homestead speak. What Vaughn said, they don't just do that on camera. That's who they are behind the scenes.
Mm.
And that is something that a lot of people also don't know. Because you can get on camera and you can look like the friendliest, happiest couple in America. Trust me, this comes from somebody that used to hang out in the church. And get behind the scenes, and it's like Forget it. That's not, well, Corey is this way and da-da-da-da-da and Laquita this way. And that is not true. Y'all are comical behind the scenes as well as in front of the scenes. Because like I said, when we got to watch the play and we sitting up there and Corey singing, playing the drums, well, I better not say drums. I got to say it right. But I'm going to say congos.
No, you had it right. It's the Dunoons.
Dunoon drums.
Okay.
The six drums that he plays,
We sitting there watching the play, and I still got a little video of it. We watching the play. Next thing I know, calling out Brown Eyes, you calling out Intentional Millionaire, calling out me. I mean, we had a good time. Y'all are who you are in real life.
No, so we appreciate that. Yeah. No, you know what? That does. I did want to say this too when you said that. That makes the difference of when you are, when you're creating your original work and you're putting it on stage. You have these different actors and everybody there, but you can improv, because you're curating your own show. It's not like we're doing a Disney show, so we don't have certain copyrights and things to follow. And so that's where when we know we got family in the audience, we can really love on them. But that's all I wanted to say, because I know you were going to say something else.
Black Tropical Homestead.
Hey.
Welcome to the 1K crew. We in the 1K. We in the 1K now. We in the 1K crew.
We're in the 1K. Congratulations, Uncle Stu.
Yeah, congratulations to you too.
It's a good feeling. Making progress.
I tell you, and look, it's funny. Everybody don't know this too. These two is comical. First time I go on their show, I get punked and Brown Eyes get a whole camera shot. She get a whole show for herself.
Well, blind guy.
No, when we came on your show, you called me off of your show because you said, "Oh no, Uncle Stu got a chick."
Yeah, Auntie Stu. That's what it said. Well, we just wanted to pop on here and say hello and let Laquita and Corey know how much we love and appreciate them. And you too, Uncle Stu, but those are people, so we had to show them some love.
Oh, that's right. We coming to Georgia. I want that love. When we come to Georgia, we coming.
Oh, yeah. Ain't nothing but love down here. I mean, I like my animals and my husband, but sometimes people okay.
and we all everybody look, we all, and I'm gonna tell y'all something. Anybody that's not a content creator that really doesn't understand making that mark, that 1,000 subscriber mark, they don't know how hard the work is to get there. And it's real funny. Black Tropical Homestead made it right before the New Year's. And I got to give a big shout out because Millennial Mark TV also made his 1K. So shout out to you, Millennial Mark TV. Yes. He was my last interview of the year. And he was like, Uncle Stu, I only need like 70 more to go. And bingo, all on New Year's Eve. He made his 1K. Black Tropical made their 1K, and we made our 1K. So we all did it before the New Year's. So salute.
Congratulations to all of y'all. And just for that, I'm going to have to sing Swing Low.
That's our motto now.
That's the motto.
Yeah, that's our motto.
I'll just say this. When we went to visit them, we were traveling and we were like, oh, we got to stop in. Something happened. And so it's an inside joke now that we always sing Swing Low. And it just makes us crack up. But go ahead. I'm sorry. You were going to say something to Black Tropical, or Black Tropical was going to talk.
Uncle Stu, you were going to say something?
No, I'm letting you speak. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I was just saying that's our motto after that little all-in-one incident. That was, so we always say that swing low and.
Listen, I'm from New York. And when I hear that swing low, I be like, all right, now hold up now. That ain't gonna sound too good. You know, that swing low, that sound like I'm going back into the slave days. Be like, oh Lord, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'll be one of them now, jump off the pier. Be like, nah, I'm going into the water. That's all right.
I will say that it was a playground incident with the swings, so that's why we always crack up. You know, as far as Black's Tropical Homestead, there, I'm sure she can speak to communication because they always talk about peace. You know, and we were talking earlier. We probably sounded like crazy people saying, you know, nah, we all have some stuff with our families, with our friends, but communication is key, and you can choose who you want to be around, who you want to communicate with. But I don't know. You tell us, Black Tropical, your input.
Yeah. Communication is key, you know, and we don't have any small kids or anything, so I only have to communicate with my husband, my plants, and my animals. So outside of home, nobody have anything to do with what's going on here. Like, I cut my mama off for doing too much when it come to my house and our life. So, but we don't have that problem because we don't bring outside influence into our home to dictate or try to run or tell us what to do when it comes to our home. I talk to my husband and my husband talk to me. So we work this out the way it work out best for us, and that's what we go for, not, you know, because mama said or, you know, somebody else said, my brother said. We don't go through all that. It's just me and him. And that's what usually help us run smooth.
And I think that's why, as content creators, for me and Laquita, that's why we always try to put out, you know, positivity, because a lot of relationships are influenced by surprisingly not surprising, which is the media. People will react to their husband based on people will react to their wives based on a certain person on YouTube said, or this woman on YouTube said, or this, on Will and Jada and they living vicariously through people's advice on YouTube or people's advice on in the media, no matter how high the ratchetity is. And that's why, you know, like I said, we feel like it's our responsibility as content creators to put out. Now, we're not sugarcoating anything and saying everything is peachy keen, but we also are not going to, you know, put out that image of negativity, because that narrative has been told too many times already. It's never going to go away, because that's what drives the content. That was what drives the views, the likes, the Nielsen ratings, all those things. So I get it. Like you said, Black Tropical, just keep those outside influences out, be it mama, daddy, sister, brother, auntie, uncle, cousin, and them, and even the media.
Yeah, because that's how you messed up. And you know how family will do. They'll tell you to leave a 30-year marriage.
They will.
They've been single all their life, and they want you to be single with them. And then once you single, y'all looking crazy and single together, and they just like, hey, you know. So why tell your family or people something to tell you something that you're not gonna do? And then they'll be looking at the other half like, hey, you know, he told her or she did this, and then they got their nose turned up at them because of something you told them. So just keep it to yourself, you know. Talk to each other about it, because the only way it's gonna get resolved is to talk to each other. Not talk at each other, but to each other.
And I'm gonna also say this, and keep your relationship off of YouTube, Facebook, TikTok.
Yeah, most definitely. You know, that's another part of it.
We literally got to tell people these things, because what do? Facebook was the biggest one. Y'all know everybody got on Facebook. Oh, my husband did this. My woman did this. Oh, my husband did. And then all of a sudden, when y'all finally make up, everybody only remembers all the bad stuff you said about the man, all the bad stuff they don't know about the side of we done made up and we good and now it's healthy. We putting it too much out there. Some stuff don't need to be on these platforms.
Yeah, my circle is very small. You know, we do live a traditional marriage, and our homestead that's our everything. we hang out. We do go out and do normal things like normal people. We have date nights and we travel or whatever. So it's not that we broke or just can't afford or just don't have sense enough to do anything. Our joy is home, growing our crops, raising our animals, and every now and then we'll get out and do something for as a date or vacation or whatever. But outside influence is crazy, and they will do anything to tap into your happiness.
You got to remember that nobody loves your spouse like you do, so they're not going to feel about them like you do. So they're going to give you advice based off of how they feel, not how you feel.
I didn't even know Bobby was there. What's up, Bobby?
Look. Hold up. All right. I'm gonna pretend the women ain't here. Hey, yo, Bobby.
Yo.
What's up, bro? I mean, a brother can't get a hookup, man. I can't get a one-on-one, interview. What's up, man? I mean, what I gotta do, man? What I gotta do, man? I'm the son of a cop, so I ain't got nothing but love for the police. Me and Intentional Millionaire, we just bros, man.
Hey, you Uncle Stu, man. You get what you want. You the man,
man. Look, I'm over here trying to send emails, man. I mean, what's up, man? I'm in the 1K category. You know what I'm saying? Can I brother get a little love, man?
I got it. I got your email, Uncle Stu. Just set us up. I mean, I'll call. I'm real lazy about calling because I'm just lazy about calling.
Yeah.
But I will. Because I call Laquita every now and then. We'll talk, and it's like, I got a quick question. I got 10 minutes. And 2 hours later, it's like, all right, girl, let me let you go. I'm real lazy.
That's all right. Me and Intentional Millionaire the same way. We might start with 5 and be finished in 30.
Yeah, that's all the wife doing there, man. I work outside the house. This is her thing, and she talked to me about it, and we orchestrated it. It don't come to me. I ain't got no say so with it. So whatever she
really. Bobby, don't say that. Now many brothers gonna be getting mad by you saying that. Don't say that, Bobby. You supposed to be the alpha dog, Bobby. Be the alpha.
Let me tell you. He is the alpha. So that's the thing with us. Like, I might check emails and I see everything first, but first it go through him. Like, I might see that email, and I told him, I said, Uncle Stu emailed me, emailed us, I'm gonna call him back. He was like, okay, I just ain't did it. But everything
you're showing cooperation, and I love the statement that you said. You said, hey, he is my man, he is the head. But we run the house this way. In other words, y'all not gonna come up here with your own ideals of social construction of a family. This is how we run it.
Right.
And this is how we're going to continue, because this is the way that we are happy.
Yeah,
that's right. Like,
I don't think there's enough of that conversation, that nothing he does and nothing you do emasculates him as a man.
Yeah. Right. I don't do anything. I won't even, like, in the morning, I leave the house to go drop off paperwork for our business. I call my husband before I make it to the car, and I'm just walking out of the house. I call him to tell him what he know I'm going to do. Babe, I'm ready to go drop the paperwork off. And, I keep him if I stop at a store or I don't go to nobody's house or anywhere, but anything I do when I leave this house, I call him, I tell him what I'm doing, and that's out of respect, but he the man. So why would I just take it upon myself to go, oh, let me go do this, that, and the third, and he don't have a clue what's going on or
where you are.
Yeah. Yeah. So
like I was saying earlier, I mean, knowing your partner, like Corey was saying, is key. And as a leader, you should know how to orchestrate, things in your relationship. You play to the strengths. You know what her strength is, and you know what yours is. You also got to know what your weaknesses are. So when your weaknesses are her strengths, you let that person have it. And that's a part of leadership. You got to know when to actually delegate that, task to the other person because they're better suited for it.
Let me ask you something, Bobby, and I want Bobby, I want Intentional Millionaire, and definitely Corey. That's a very interesting statement. Over the last day or so, there's been this question about women not being protected, and we've always wanted to know that answer. But you said something that I say, I'm here to protect my woman and within my family. And then you have some younger guys who says we trying to protect our women in the sense of telling them, don't wear certain clothes or don't do certain things. But the women are saying they just grossly into. Can you speak to that? Or do you feel that's for another day and time? Because that's a powerful statement y'all just made.
My husband know how to tell me what to wear. Oh.
I run a PG channel. I run a PG channel now. but Gail at night said it. And this is so true. The modern woman would say your husband is controlling you if you let him know where you are, etc.
I know. That's why I like having these conversations, because it's a difference in, as a leader, I feel like a leader's supposed to have control. Now, it's a difference in abuse. When it's abuse, that's a whole different story. But control, how can a leader not have control to a certain point?
Mm-hmm.
So me telling him that I'm leaving the house or on down to whatever I'm going to spend, I don't go and spend money just because I want to. I talk to my husband because we are a team. Like, we got to grow old with our bank account. I will spend us under the table. So I need him to control that part of I need him to control certain things. Now, what he know he is weak at, he will turn around and say, hey, that's you. That's all you. You handle that. But I know a lot of women will say, oh, that's him being controlling, or that's abuse, or that's this. No, it's not. But how can you be a leader if you can't control something or somebody when you need to? He know when not to. He know how not to go too far because he a man. But I don't have to sit and say, well, damn, baby, you got to tell me or you got to do this. We got common sense, but as a traditional couple, I feel like out of respect, I should tell my husband when I'm leaving the house where I'm going and what I'm doing, who I'm with. I don't have anything to hide, so why wouldn't I be able to tell him these things?
Now y'all know this is just the introduction, not only to their personal interview, this is an introduction to some topics. We going deep. Brown Eyes will be emailing you. I am the head. Brown Eyes, you got some work to do. I need another email sent out to these two. You need to get them on the calendar. See how you got to do that, Corey. See how I had to straighten up.
Let me just millionaire talk, Corey. Don't even jump on that.
Yeah, that's right. Put your foot down. I know it's Brown Eyes is like in a whole nother room while you saying all this stuff too.
He doesn't hold it down. We want to hear from Intentional Millionaire.
First thing I want to say, welcome everyone, and thanks for having me on the panel, Uncle Stu. Welcome their soul sisters and soul brothers. Welcome Blind Guy, their wife. Blind Guy, his wife, their life. The first thing I want to say is definitely for Corey and Laquita. We definitely had a great time getting a chance to just meet them outside of YouTube. The first thing I want to say, sorry for Corey because he went to ODU, but it's okay.
You went there too?
I know.
I hate to Brown Eyes went to ODU too.
But we had a real great time. The thing I can say that I really enjoyed for both Corey and the entire family, everybody that we met that day, they had great energy. It's just fun to be around everybody, you know, smart, willing to help, and Laquita can make some great vegetarian food. So definitely plant-based is the way to go. So but yeah, we had a really good time. I just wanted, you know, definitely come on and show my appreciation because, you know, coming new into the YouTube space, I just really like the community where we can get together and we could just have fun and be ourselves and just really enjoy just, you know, the hard work being on YouTube, but also getting a chance to know each other outside of YouTube.
Yeah, I think people got.
And I also want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat, because everybody in the chat, you know, the chat's kind of what helps continue to move the ball forward while we're having fun on the panels. But one of the key things that I definitely heard Black Tropical Homestead state is that at the end of the day, I think too many times we get too caught up on the words and not really looking at what do things mean to the two individuals that's in the relationship. Because, you know, some people take the word control and they make it a bad thing. But in certain areas, one of the things, you know, Bobby stated was the areas that your other partner is good at, which is their strengths, they should control that if that makes sense for the individual relationships. Why? Because they operate in the strength. So why would the person that's not their strength be operating in the area that is the strength of their opposing spouse or significant other? Yeah. So I just think, you know, when you think about just relationships, because I'm the one on the panel that's, you know, not married, not in a relationship, but I just always look for to hear the key Jews that continue to make a relationship stick and to have the longevity. And too many times, I think the key thing is that I heard everyone state on the panel is keep others out your relationship. And if it ain't a therapist, their opinion really don't matter. Okay.
On down to your mamas.
Yeah. And that goes down to, I mean, even people in the church, your parents, your family members, whoever the case may be. And you really just got to protect. The way you protect your relationship is keeping others out. So you got to create that, I like to say, that bubble.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And Intentional Millionaire, I know you said it was good that people saw another side of us that people haven't seen when you came to hang out with us. Mm-hmm. But when you came on, went live, and people saw you differently too, because XDMC said, "Who's that brother? Like he got the Black Panther suit underneath his shirt."
Yeah. You know what, too, the Intentional Millionaire, I got a question for you because, of course, since you're the one here that, like you said, okay, you're not booed up right this second, or so we think. Well, you're not married, okay? We can't talk about booed up. But the point is, Gail at Night, you know, she mentioned in the chat, how can he protect you when you out here acting like you don't need him all over the place and he don't know where you at? Right? Because, you know, Black Tropical, she was like, yeah, we out here letting our men know where we are. It's just a point of communication. I don't know if you've experienced that where you're dating women and they're like, oh, you know, kind of just careless with communication or feeling like, you know, you two are in a relationship. I don't know if you can speak to that at all, or just communication in general, because that's our mainstay. You know, our mainstay is communication. So that's one reason why I'm bringing that up from that perspective.
Well, I say for me, I think that's one of the things you got to kind of talk about, because a lot of women in today's era, they do think that is controlling, but they don't know that as men that is, you know, protective of the house and protective of family. It's more for understanding, because men know the most important thing out of anything is a woman's safety. So it's not about all this other stuff that they're thinking about. See, they're thinking about the control part, but as a man, I'm thinking about her safety, because we always pre-thinking, and we got to pre-think situations through, because if something go wrong, we got to know how to be able to react and respond. But in today's era, a lot of women don't really understand that, because they don't look at protection and safety like a man do. And is that for all? No. But for most, yes.
Right.
Yeah. And I think what's missing is understanding what that means. A lot of us as men we would rather take the precautions before we go to the extreme. Meaning, if we're saying, hey, don't wear certain types of clothes, don't come out with, well, I can wear what I want to wear, how I want to wear it. Because you go out there and I don't care how much theory you think you done studied in college, we know how men are. We know that not every man is going to just, treat you with respect. You wear certain clothes, you're going to attract certain things. Mm-hmm. So we are forever looking at that. Brown eyes always make sure, hey, does this look right? Is this okay? It's not revealing. It's not doing too much of this, not too much of that. It's not because she's a little girl and she's a little child. She's making sure that when she walk out that house, she is safe, that she is not wearing things that can attract the wrong people and say the wrong things, especially if I'm not in her physical presence. And even if you there physically, I think women got to understand, no man want to walk with you and then have 4-5 guys making all kinds of remarks. Now you want him to fight 4-5 people because you wearing the wrong thing. It's like, make it make sense. We're trying to help you. We ain't trying to control you.
Right. I do have something to add to that too. Because, Corey, he's only, like, of course, we knew each other junior high school, but we were only dating 2 years before he lost his sight, And so that being said, when we're out in public, it's just certain things that, whether he could see or not, that I'm going to wear, because like you're saying, you get enough cat calls, if you want to call it that, or approached by, you could have on a John Brown tent and you're going to get approached, right? Regardless, as a woman. Well, I guess you do. I don't know. I ain't never been really on the other side where, where people ignore me. But the point I'm trying to make is that, I do dress a certain way so that it's like, okay, yeah, no need to reveal anything. We got plenty of time for that at home. Of course, when we go to the beach, when we go swimming, and when we were dating, I had on a 2-piece when it was just me and Corey. Corey, be quiet. You hear him in the back whistling.
Look. See, as soon as you said that, I said, oh, that's why Black Home Tropical said they ain't got the camera on. Yeah, I got you, Bobby. I understand, bro.
Yeah, we live on it. So, we live in a new colony. So, we gotta be prepared for cleaning up.
They done turned my whole life into a rated R.
I know, right?
No, that's why we turned the cameras off, so we wouldn't have to.
But yeah, Gail said it perfectly. There's no excuse not to dress and carry yourself like a lady, because especially with our business too, we don't know who we're going to run into. And, it does make a difference. We realize our appearance, people, it made a difference whether or not they would do business with us. And so we've been afforded a lot of great opportunities by keeping certain appearances, revealing things. No, don't do it, because this way I can approach or speak to another woman's husband or as a business person without them feeling like I'm coming on to them. Because there's ain't nothing hanging out, ain't nothing too pumped up or whatever, regardless of, that's just not it. Like, let me dress like a lady. Let me look like I want to do business.
You can't hide all that, baby.
Well, that's why.
Let them know, Corey.
Are they going to have to shut their camera off now, too?
No. Until that time out, it's over.
What you saying, Queen?
No, that's it. Because, Intentional Millionaire, he brought up some really good points, too. I don't know if he had anything to add to that about, I don't know. You tell us, the Intentional Millionaire, because we all hitched around here, hooked up and all of that kind of stuff. And you're like, hey, okay, I'm still out here checking for ladies. What do you see? When you see a certain package, do you automatically assume by the visual aids that, okay, I guess if she's showing this at first glance, she's showing it to everybody. I don't know. Or do you try to see past that?
Intentional Millionaire is about the money. I'm gonna quote this old song from the '60s. First, he looks at the purse.
The purse.
Yeah.
Well, most of the time, for me, the more conservative woman, you don't even have to talk about that or state that. The more conservative a woman is, and the more women traits that she has, that's not of an issue. It's normally when you have the ones that's kind of either lost because of their influence, or they really into the, I'm a queen, I'm a diva, I'm a boss. And those are the ones that kind of really do their own thing. So for me, I can't even really speak to that in more depth because I don't really deal with those type of women that dress like that, me personally. So, now in my younger days, if I did, it was not for the, relationship. So I just leave it as that.
I think just for the men on the panel, I think that needs some clarity. And I'm going to tell you why I say that needs clarity. Somehow there's this image that, and now they call it the IG models, that if a man looks at an IG model, that's really what he wants. And they not, and it seems to be the norm of saying all these men want an IG model, when there's a difference between looking at a woman in a magazine or online that look a certain kind of way versus what I really want as a wife. Would y'all say that is true? Because somehow a lot of women seem to want to have the IG model look and don't realize that's really a turn off, not a turn on. What do you men say first?
I don't know, because I ain't never seen an IG model.
Hey, hold up. Look, Corey, when you were singing, all of us used to run to them Jet magazines. Don't trip now. I'm gonna call you out now. Used to run to the Jet, and we wasn't reading the articles. We was opening up the centerfold, and then we might read the articles around the centerfold.
Yeah, you're right.
I had those all on my walls. Yeah, Uncle Stu, I think that it depends on the guy. If he don't have options and he find one of these women, he'll take what he can get. But a guy who got options, yeah, that's just for fun. That's not something they finna keep because they already know what it is. So it's something to play with, and then it's something, and let it go by the business.
Yeah, I just wanted you to say that because that needs clarity. Because I really want women to really understand that, there's certain women that we just look at and it's like, okay, you're, we just gonna have fun. And then there's that other one where it's like, oh no, I can't let you go.
Oh yeah, and it's pretty quick. You kind of know right off the bat whether it's somebody you want to invest the time in.
Yeah.
I totally 100% agree with Bobby. I don't really have nothing to add. I mean, Bobby summed that up very well. That's what it is. I mean, because men know that, men that really want a long-term relationship know it's a lot of issues and problems that come with an Instagram model or whatever you want to call it. Somebody that really has to seek attention from other men.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's thinking in his head on right and he's thinking long term and longevity, he know what that is. He know that that's something that he's not going to fully commit to. He's only there for, for either bragging rights for something, or he just going to, have fun with it and he's out of there.
Mm-hmm. Good point.
That's a very good point. Was y'all around when Corey talked about communication and all the different facets of communication? Bobby?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Nothing more important than that.
Because
I
of your
heard him.
background, I'm not going to state what your background is right now. Because of your background, okay. First of all, everybody give a shout out to Blind Guy, his wife, their life, because I am not going to hold them up, and let's give a little clap. Look, I got to make this machine work for years. I just want to thank y'all for popping in, for giving me this interview. You starting it off right. And like I said, y'all been real. Y'all have been real. Y'all real in front of the scenes, behind the scenes, on top of the scenes. I don't want to say under the scenes, because then, Black Tropical Home said we might start hearing stuff that we don't need to be hearing.
We'll mute. We will mute.
So I want to thank y'all for coming by. And again, it's Blind Guy, his wife, their life. Check them out.
Juices.
We want to stick around and hear Bobby finish his philosophical statement that he's about to drop.
Talk is in there too, Corey. Talk. No, Talk says you guys are wonderful.
Thank you, Talk. Talk Williams, thank you.
The money man.
They waiting on you, Bobby.
What's up?
They waiting on you. They want to hear your philosophical thought on the question.
No, I just, definitely communication is key. I mean, there's no part of the relationship that's more important than the communication. If you can't go back and forth with each other and resolve whatever issues that may come along, and in a relationship with two different people, it's going to be an issue, and it got to be resolved. And if you can't resolve it by communicating, then I mean, y'all not gonna make it. That's just point blank, period. So you definitely want that communication. And y'all have met Blind Guy and his wife, man. They dynamic. You see it on camera, but man, to see it in life is amazing. Like, it's seamless. Like, them guys, I mean, I don't know. I'm in awe of them. So
they're just regular folks.
Yeah, you think that until you see regular folks.
Yeah. Well, see, that's why I started it off like, what you see on camera is actually what you see behind the scenes. And that is very rare, because, everybody's usually a personality. And then you always got to analyze, okay, are they like that for real? Like, yeah, the camera stuff look good, but when you see it live and in living color, it's like, they are really funny in real life,
That's the scary part. The scary part of meeting new people. Like, we all meet each other here in these YouTube streets, and we don't know who we really getting. Some things you can tell, something ain't right, or you get a little vibe from them or whatever. Like, we gotten our vibes from a few people, and we just like, let's just back up and stay away. But we never got these type of vibes from none of y'all. And like with Blind Guy, I told him, I said, you have a bunch of things running through your head, and it's like, they wanted to come, and we wanted them to come here, but I didn't want to take them too far out of their way. But then it's like, I'm so anxious to meet them, because I need to make sure that they are as real as what we hearing and what we seeing, because I talk to them all the time. My husband talked to Corey a couple times, and we all cool together. So it came down to, when you get here, let us know. We'll go hang out tonight. I don't care what time it is. When most people would still flake on you, knowing that you in their city, you only here to see them, and then it's like, okay, here come the bull crap. So I told him, I said, we are, what you see is what you get in us. We pretty much plain type people. We do like to hang out and do little things, but we want real people in our life too, not people that's putting on for YouTube. Or, of course, we don't want people to just put their entire life on YouTube, but we do want to just connect with real people.
Just good people.
Yeah.
Is the most important thing. Like, you might have heard me say before, I'm the lay in the cut dude. I'm gonna sit back and I'm observe. I shut up and I watch. And I pride myself over the years of being pretty a good judge of character. So I didn't really have a concern
Not at all.
with them at all, because I had sat that back and watched them and listened to them talk, and and I can tell. I can just tell. So, and definitely when you meet them, I'm somebody, I won't talk to you too much. If you put the hairs up on my neck, I just won't really deal with you. But it was seamless. It was easy. So I mean, they're great. I mean, and the thing is, they have been together so long. They seamless. Like they almost like one person the way they operate.
Even the kids. The kids fit in perfect.
And I told Sherry, I probably ain't told y'all that, but I told Sherry, I say, before we met you, I said, those guys are so smart. Those kids are probably smart. Yeah, that's it. They probably smart as crap. Right? Both of them brains together. Like, and then when I met them, I was like, yep. And I was watching the kids too. I was watching their dynamic and how they got along, their personalities. That was amazing. Just trying to pull each one of them personality, put it into Corey or into Quita.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Well, I'm gonna say this. Two things. Number one of their kids got one of the greatest names of all times.
Brooklyn
in the house. That's that New York. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yes, Corey, you did it right. Yeah. So I had to. I gotta always give a shout out to that borough. That represents the city. But I'm gonna tell you something. Very quickly. You're so right, because when we went through the tragedy that we went through, the real YouTubers showed up and showed out in ways that I know Brown Eyes would definitely say this, in ways we could never have imagined. When people literally stop their lives, pick up a phone, and I knew at the time XDMC and Black Tropical, y'all didn't have our number, but the people that did was picking up the phone and saying, "Hey, y'all all right? You all right? What you need? You okay?" And those that was close to me was able to get to the house and like really make sure not only was Brown Eyes okay, but I was okay. And that's what made this a little bit more personal than just I'm throwing up videos.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm talking to people just online.
Yeah.
They became human beings. Like when I look at them, when I look at XDMC, when I see you, when I'm looking at Intention, it's like we're real. Yell at night, real. Like, okay, I gotta get the drug. We gotta physically touch these people because they're human beings. These ain't personalities. I used to make the joke while for like 1 week. I said, I don't get it. How is it I'm the face of Uncle Stu, and I'm the one who got put in all this labor. But everybody that called you speak to you for 30 and 40 minutes. Nobody talked to me, But it was really that got her through the worst time a mother could ever go through. She has her great days, her bad days. But that week, if it wasn't for y'all, and I'm talking to content creators, that was real people. If it wasn't for y'all, I don't know if she could have made it. Y'all made her more happy than her talking to people at her job or family members. She'll sit there and be like, "Oh, I spoke to JB. He's my little nephew. I spoke to so-and-so." And da-da-da-da. She's speaking to Gail, and they act like they sister code thing. Like, Gail, "Hey, girl. Hey." I'm like, how y'all get to talk all this time? And I'm the face of Uncle Stu. But it was love.
It's real.
It was real. Yeah. And then, like, I'm up there. Okay, let me just shout out Black Tropical Homestead. They got a little live. Next thing it was, oh, we don't want to talk to you, Uncle Stu. Where Auntie Stu? We want to talk to her. We don't want to talk to you. You know, and it's like, what in the world? But it's love. It's love.
Yeah.
It's love. So I just had to say that because I really don't think people understand. There are some people that are really human beings behind these cameras.
Yeah, that's why I jumped on real quick. Bobby beat me to it when I was going to mention their kids, because you can tell a lot about a couple through their kids, and those are the like happiest kids I've ever seen. When I'm on the phone, I don't never hear in the background arguing, crying, anything. Like, I hear happiness. I hear the Cosby Show remake in the background. That's what I hear in the background. And I said, you know, they doing it. And then it's the way Corey interacts with his daughters. That's what we need. And I know his wife sees that. And I know that makes her smile. And they doing it. When you say they real, they are real. I know these people. I know them. And I won't even say real. They're the truth. You know, and they have, and they're like that. They will call you and reach out to you when you don't even know you need them to reach out to you. And that's how that's how my relationship has been, and my friendship has been with Corey. You know, the other reason I called in because I said, you know, y'all bigging them up, and they all right. You ain't that. I mean, Michelle and Obama. I mean, what do we have?
Did I get it right though?
Yeah.
Did I do the intro right?
And then Laquita types in Corey is decent. Then no, I got to come on up, you know, because
I put that in the chat.
Corey, he's the man. You know, he's the man. And what I will touch on before I jump is I love what Sherry was saying, because I'm like, wow, my wife does that. Every time she leaves the house, like, I know you just left. What are you calling me for? And no matter where she's at, she's calling. And she's letting me know this and I don't look at that as controlling, because I never asked for her to do that. She does that out of respect. And then when, like, Intentional Millionaire was saying the word control, and how we look at that as a negative, it's not negative. They have pretty much what I have, a controlled environment, where if anything upsets that controlled environment, it sends off a red flag. My wife knows when I was commuting how long it takes for me to get from point A to point B. And she knows if I go out to get a haircut, how long that takes. If for some reason it takes an hour extra and I don't call, the red flag comes up. But the red flag don't come up with, okay, what is he up to? Who's he seeing? No, it comes up to, is he okay? Because I know that world that he walks into. And I'm on the lookout for mine. And it's the same way I am with her. I teach her not taught her, but I teach my daughters. Know your environment, know your surroundings. Don't just get out the car and walk right into the store. Get out the car and look around you. When you're driving, look in that rearview mirror. That same car been following you? Okay, no, Darren, you being too paranoid. No, I watch Dateline. I watch 48 Hours. I know what happens in this crazy world we live in. And I'm giving you the tools to protect yourself, because that's what I do. Control environment, and it's all about the love and the communication. I'll touch on this real quick. Communication is very important, like Corey was saying, like all the brothers were saying, but it is the way you communicate. If it's something in you that I did and you ready to communicate with me, but you feeling that fire or whatever, wait. Now, don't wait and go to bed with it, but just wait a few hours. Don't come to me with your chest all swollen. Don't come to me and watch what you say. I don't want to hear, oh, you just like my ex when he used to. Bing, wrong thing to say.
Right.
I ain't trying to hear that. That ain't how you communicate. We're communicating, but it's the way you communicate.
Right.
If you love me, get out your feelings and let's make this work and let's talk to each other, not talk at each other, no matter how cliche does that sound. Because the one thing that my kids can tell you, they ain't never seen me and my wife argue. Not that we even had to argue or hide that somewhere. We don't argue. We speak to each other. Mm-hmm. And 90% of the things that we have ever had a disagreement on, yeah, it was my fault, man. I own it. So what? You know, but you know, you gotta have some fun. You know, you can't make them all happy or whatever. You know, you gotta poke it a little bit. You know, but it's 31 years in, and I have no complaints really. And the thing with the women dressing a certain way, I never had to tell my like you mentioned, tell my wife how to dress. She knows. It's like Intentional Millionaire said, he doesn't rock with women like that. And then when you're ready to have some fun, then we know what women we looking for. The ones that dress like that. The one that there is no man, no group of brothers. Me and Corey has not gone on the phone. And we talked about this the other day, Corey. We have never been on the phone and go, oh man, did you see those eyelashes that she was wearing? I got to get with her. No man has ever said that.
No.
He said no.
So what is that for? You know, and let me stop. I'm going on and on. But
you make a point. You make a good point.
The IG model, you know what you look like when you will put that dress on. You know, you was in the mirror, you saw those butt cheeks hanging down a bit. Mm-hmm. You know what you looking, and guess what? What you're looking for, you will find. But if husband is on the menu, no, you got the wrong bait. You're not gonna catch nothing. You're not gonna catch your husband with that. You're gonna catch a good time, but you ain't gonna catch your husband. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you want. But don't come out here being Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B dressed 24/7 and let the housewife dress and going, I can't find no man. I have no problem finding a date. Really? You don't understand what's going on. Well, I gotta look okay. I saw you looking at me, ex-DMC. I can look at the menu, don't mean I'm gonna order anything to eat. All right, let me stop before I get in trouble.
Look. The only reason why you're not gonna get in trouble, I don't know if you was able to hear my monologue the last time I was on in the Q&A. I made that perfectly clear. Who are you wearing the hair for? Who are you wearing all that stuff for? Because you ain't wearing it for us if we telling you we don't like it. Then I had to make it real clear. Some of us like light-skinned women. Some of us like dark-skinned women. Some of us like a little meat on the bone. Some of us like so we are variety men. None of us is monolithic in our preferences. So stop with this mindset that we all think this way or we all think that way. How about you get to know the man you want to be with and ask him, what does he like? Okay, I gotta get off my soapbox because this is about my guy, his wife, their life.
Yeah, but I just wanted to come on and a salute to the panel, Wally, Wealth Talk Production, Big Bad Bull, Vaughn. Hey, you guys are all 100 gal. You know what's up, how I feel about you. And Black's Tropical. We always soil people.
We appreciate
Intentional Millionaire. Keeping that money right.
As always, SDMC, you coming here dropping them jewels.
Hey, Corey and Laquita, you know, we go way back. And one day we really have to do a show. And maybe some people are going to be upset about it. We won't drop any names, but on how these YouTube streets brought us together in drama and in politics and in stuff like it. It's amazing, but
you know,
I can honestly say they're not just friends, they're family now.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, I do want to say something to that too, XDMC, because that's exactly what we've been saying tonight. Is that yeah, a whole lot of mess can happen, and you already know the drama that we went through together. It was real, right? It was like, man, this is some extra stuff, but it's all in how you deal with it. You know,
Yeah.
it really is all in how you choose to deal with it, and you can look around and you can say, okay, what's my reality? Who do I have to deal with? Who do I have to be around? Who can I consult with? And that's where communication really comes in handy, because
Yes.
we actually had conversations with you to determine, okay, what exactly is going on? What's your position? What's our position? So that there was no question of,
And you initiated the conversation. You called
yeah,
us and said and asked what was going on, and we were able to, you heard us out. And like I said, not too many people do that. They just take the information and run with it. So go ahead. I'm sorry, I jumped on your conversation.
no, the exact same thing, because that's what we've been saying the whole time. But it sounds like, oh, they're just two squares, or oh, no, they're just, yeah, this is too good to be true. They're probably getting off to do something else, and it's like, no, we strongly believe that regardless of what's going on, even if you're arguing, even if you're a little extra with it, communication really brings a lot of it right back. Because most things are a misunderstanding. That's what the drama was that we were all involved in. And of course, we figured it out, but we talked through it. And it wasn't just one conversation either. It wasn't just, well, I told XDMC, well, XDMC told you, Corey, or what? No, it was, it took a lot. And so that's the reason why when we say, relationships, it's not just that, oh, we've been together for so long, but you also have to look at your relationships. Like I said, when you go out to the grocery store, you got to look around you and say, everybody's here to shop. This is not the time to start singing a song or engaging with people in the wrong way. Help somebody shop. They're looking for something. You know what I mean? So when we came together with XDMC, we all had a purpose in that group. When it fell apart, we was like, all right, this is what we came here to do. These are the goals we came here. So let's see what's going on now. So you look at your relationship there, and you manage your, like the Intentional Millionaire will tell you, you manage your money relationships, you manage your neighborhood relationships, you manage your pet relationships, your freezer can relationships for Black Strong, whatever you got to do, right?
Your hoeing relationships.
Oh, Black Eddie took my platform today.
You didn't even say anything.
I need help. I've been trying to get it right.
But it's true, the way we came out of that, the way it was handled. It was, again, just communication and truth, and what I applaud. Corey was like, some of you guys not going to remember, but I know if you're of a certain age, but Corey was like Kane, teacher in Shaolin from Kung Fu. Corey was like that. When he was strategized, he was like, okay, let me be calm, because this is what I want. And then there was a part where Kane turned into somebody else, and Corey will flip. So F this. This is. So it was great, and that's what I mean. It was truthful and it was real, and I look at it in as far as one thing about truth. You can try to hide it, you can try to bury it, you can do whatever, but it cannot be destroyed. Mm-hmm. It will find a way. Truth finds a way to come out. Everything that we're dealing with, we may not know it today, but down the line, we may not even live to see what's up. But the truth will eventually come out. And that's what happened with this. And the true people, and I guess I'm speaking about myself too, came out on top. And we came out, and we're doing all right.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, you said it so beautifully, and I think that's like part of it too. The beauty of all of y'all. Again, a lot of people think I'm just lying when I say I have communication with people in the back. So it's like, you do? Okay, who are you talking to? And it's like, no, I if I'm going through something, I know who to call if I need to get this situation taken care of, or I know who's evaluating me when I'm doing this. I know that if certain topics is hitting on my page, I can almost know, okay, my boy from China is about to chime in because you done said something. He getting ready to call up. Y'all be thinking when I be saying, up north, all right, shot, like, oh, well, who is he talking about? Be like, no, I got people that's actually listening, even though they're not in the chat. So you're speaking and don't even realize there's people hearing you.
Yeah.
There's people hearing you. They're hearing how you're talking. They're hearing how I'm talking. They're hearing the interaction. And if they don't say nothing now, you better believe that they're going to do one of these numbers. Hey, Uncle Stu, I saw you live last night. Let me tell you what I saw. Let me tell you what I heard. Let me tell you the better way to handle this. Let me tell you what this person said. And then it makes me have to go back onto the live and go, okay, what part did I miss? What part did I get right? How do I need to fix this for the next time? But then even when you're just going through, like, all right, tell me in there, let me tell you what I'm going through today. And it has nothing to do with brown eyes or anything. It can just be whatever, and to have those personal interconnections, like I make it a habit. Okay, I got to make sure I call Sorrel speaks. Even if it's no more than, you okay? Mm-hmm. All right, here go my long 3-page email. You all right? Hey, Court, you all right? Because it brings that intimacy. We already know we going to Georgia. We already know who we going to go see. That's just, this group is on the map. That group is on the map. And they're content creators. With the exception of my cousin down there and our aunt. We're going to go visit the content creators because they showed themselves to be real people.
Yeah.
Bring them back to Virginia.
Hey, look, about 7 in the house.
No, thank you. No, thank you. You up there.
Hey, look. We heard about that law y'all got down there. Y'all better get out of here. You sniffed the wrong way. We heard about that law.
Listen, I was messing with you because you know about Emporium.
Yeah. Almost wrong. I gotta tell my mom to come here. My whole family is there, so I tell them when y'all want to see me, come here.
Right.
Look, we look all them foes. Now we gotta claim it now. 7x7 in the house.
We coming. I love the beach. Even though I love the beach in the South, I still come to Virginia Beach and visit. I still end up going home to visit my family, but it's real short lived. We end up down there because we want to go to Captain George with my mama.
Okay, now you want to know? Now y'all want to know? It's funny. That reminds me. When I go to New York, I've been in the South. I go to New York. I'll see my family. It's like, okay, I gotta go, y'all. And I'm born and raised in New York. Because I done got so used to a certain life that it's like, okay, I'm good. I got it all out now. It's time to go home. So I get it.
Well, fam, I gotta jump, but this was great. I had to come on and give big ups to Blind Guy, his wife, their life, Corey and Laquita. And I'm also going to give a big up to the other couple, which is Sherry and Bobby. And this is one of the things that I really love about them. They were on a panel, and this is before I really got to know them. They were on a panel, and Snuggles asked the question. Yeah, I said her name. Yeah, that's what it is. She asked the question.
That means she's going to show up in the chat now.
and the question she asked, I was like, whoa. And then Sherry said, no, I take this. This is my man. Let me tell you, this is what I don't want to say exactly what it was, but it's the way she handled that. And I was like, oh, she unclaimed her man on YouTube. And he's sitting right there, and she's letting her know this is how it went down. And whoa, okay, Sherry, salute. So I just wanted to say that, and one love to everyone. Peace.
Peace.
All right, SDM.
Peace.
XDLC, we up here. We stayed extra because you bounced up here, but we're about to get out of here too and say goodbye to everybody. But I know Laquita talked about it a minute ago. So we talking about a lot about communication, relationships, and all those things that go into the relationships of people. Intentional millionaire. What kind of relationship should we have with our money?
It should be the same because it should be one. Sherry and Bobby covered that is when you think about just relationship, it should be a shared thing because it's going to what allow you to be happy when you both need to take care of each other.
Mm,
All right.
I like it.
Sounds good.
Well, Uncle Stu, it's been real. We enjoyed everybody from Vaughn Bryant to GT Junior, XDMC, the Intentional Millionaire, Bobby
everybody in the chat.
Everybody in the chat.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, your guys have been great, and it's been
Big
a
Bad
pleasure.
Bull, Core Star. I'm saying his name wrong. Sorry.
Big Bad
Car
Bull.
Star.
That's my partner right there, boy. He's on it. Love him. Always in my comments. I make sure I respond to his comments first. So yeah.
Sir Hill Speaks was here too, Corey.
Hey, Sir Hill Speaks, and big ups to you too. And so it's just been a great experience, and we just thank you for having
Williams.
us.
It's just been great. We appreciated this.
If y'all don't say something to this one right here, y'all might all get cut off. Y'all better speak to it. Y'all know. Y'all
now. Uncle Auntie Stu. I saw Endell, Cars. Some people in here tonight.
Wally was in there too. Well Talk Production.
Rigged.
Yeah, but thank you so much for. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sherry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say we appreciate Uncle Stu letting us hop on the chat with y'all. We love you all, and hopefully when it warm up, we'll make a trip to the beach in Virginia. Hopefully.
All right, that'll be fantastic.
Don't let us have to come down there and get you and snatch you up.
Well, I gotta Google and see if y'all got some nice nurseries up there. I might, we might can do some things, but we'll have to see about that. But we're gonna make a special trip just for Laquita.
Oh! You see how we get this, y'all? Bobby, do me and Corey got to teach you the song, Bobby?
No, you see him just laughing because he rides.
I don't even know what direction we'll be going.
Yeah, I just want to say this real quick. If y'all jump off, Bobby and y'all have also been an awesome family to us. Mm-hmm. We really thank you. We felt the love, and the care and the concern, that you had for us when we was going through. We knew that you didn't really have no real way to communicate with us, but I want you to know that we did receive the messages and the love and the prayers and the support, and y'all are definitely real people too. So we just want to thank y'all for that love that y'all sent to us during that time, in our life. So, I just want you to know that.
Not a problem. We appreciate you, man.
I'll be sure to call you tomorrow before I go visit the rabbits, so I don't get caught.
Bobby, did you hear that? Bobby, did you hear that, Bobby?
I try to keep it a task, but she get on the phone with Shaquita. Shaquita is gonna be.
Get her, Bobby. Take back the manhood, Bobby. All right. Hey, Intentional Millionaire, hang out, man. I ain't gonna shut the live down. I'm just gonna let them two go because I know that blind guy and his wife, they're on a time schedule.
Okay, and I just want to say good night, and I thank blind guy, his wife, their life of Queen and Corey, and I want to thank Sherry and Bobby because you all both welcome me with open arms. And I say, Black Tropical Homestead, you all are definitely doing the most important thing is showing people about food and being able to grow your own because it's definitely critical in this area. So while you're teaching people to grow their own, and Blind Guy and his wife, their life. Laquita's coming and then showing you how to cook. So it's a win-win combination. And I'm a guy that like to eat. So it's fantastic.
Good. And the way
We
they
just
got
getting
us to
started.
play, that was the key. They said, "Hey, y'all come to play. We're gonna feed y'all." Oh, feed! Oh yeah, we there. No problem.
That's right. Food, family, and fun. That's right.
That's
Yep.
right.
Absolutely.
That's
All
right.
right. Y'all have a good night.
All right.
you
Everybody,
too.
y'all have a good
All right.
night as
Good
well.
night.
Deuces.
Good night.
Deuces.
Peace.
Peace. I just hope everybody truly enjoyed having Blind Guy, his wife. I hope that y'all was able to grab a lot of jewels, as Intentional Millionaire would say, grab a lot of jewels, grab a lot of information, and everything. We're not going to shut it down. I'm going to have a small chit chat with Intentional Millionaire and kind of give y'all an opportunity if you want to come up and just have a short conversation. We doing it, y'all. We are, if I got the math right, 155 hours, watch hours away from the 4,000. So I want to appreciate all of y'all staying active in the chat, looking at the videos, and not just looking, but I'm hoping you're really learning from the videos. Intentional Millionaire was an awesome day. I happen to be on Suzette Speaks, and she's going to be coming here on the 25th. But we had an awesome conversation. You know, she is really learning and really trying to teach areas like she's recognizing her being a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? Like she's really digging into some topics like, was my career really worth it? You know, was striving after these things really worth it? There's another young lady, and I'm going to subscribe as soon as I get off, married woman who's really trying to set her platform up to really talk about, you know, women, family. You know, she really going to dig into these female narratives, and she's a much older woman. And I think she said they've been married 23, 24 years. You know, so you know, we're getting those prayers answered. You know, she said she would definitely collab. Suzette, you know, Suzette definitely gonna come here, and you know, she's gonna really talk about some deep dive things and whatnot. So, you know, I just want to say I'm finally getting that second win of encouragement, because we're gonna be I'm gonna say this while I got Gail at night. Gail, I wanna take the deep dive. What does it mean for a woman not to be protected? Gail, I overheard a conversation. I'm gonna take that on too, where I love my mama. I just don't love you. And I think we need to take the deep dive into this, because you don't love the black woman. Somehow you don't love your black mother. We're gonna take the deep dive into that conversation. So just letting you know, a lot of stuff we talked about in the back scene, you know, I'm starting to see it come out in the front scene. So I appreciate. Go ahead.
That comes with the work, Uncle Stu. You know, you've been really putting out the work. You've been really having, you know, some people really come through and really share. And really, the key is because you really focus on solutions. It's a slower process, but it's a process. And then the good thing is when you start having, you know, you're starting to have your wins, and people really supporting you. And for all that hard work, that's why you can be monetized. But also you can continue to press the ball forward with the solutions that is needed. Because I will say I did like the video that I had a chance to look at on Black Man Unfiltered, and Nathaniel Daly, Nate, he actually had they actually had a good conclusion as they closed out the stream. Was he wanted people to really jot down their solutions. And he's really, one thing I really like about him, he really want to, you know, fix the black community. which I think is so critical. Because I think all of us has bits and pieces to start putting the puzzle together to really build things back. And the great thing is, we might not even see it in our lifetime, but at least we started some of the process, and we don't know where that may go in the future. So, but it has to start where it has to start.
Yeah.
And I could just say, even, you know, when I had a chance to sit down with you and Brown Eyes, and, you know, we actually had a chance just to, you know, just talk and, you know, have fun and joke and this and that. You know, those are the type things really how that was a direct kind of representation of how the conversations really should go.
Right.
You know, and that, you know, we had points, you know, we all had our different points, but we never beat anybody's point down. We just gave examples for support our point and this and that. And it was a good conversation. It was fun. It was entertaining. We laughed.
Right.
You know, and that's really how it could be. You can still get things done.
Yes. Yes. I've and I know he's still on here. I've challenged Von Bryant because he, you know, he talks to me in the back and he said some things, and it's like, Von, I got to get you on because people need to hear that. They really need to hear you, you know, because sometimes we just got to be honest at where we are, you know. Yeah, I'm older, but it doesn't mean that I'm all that in the bag of chips. I can learn from anybody.
Right.
You know, I can learn from anybody, but at the same time, in that learning from everybody, you know, this is where I can feel Vaughn's sentiment. Hear us too, because we might have the history and some key areas in history that's not written in the books yet.
Right.
You know, key areas of history that's still in newspapers, but they haven't been historically documented as substantial evidence. You know, do you know how many people I run into on the YouTube streets and I say, well, are you aware of the Million Man March? And everybody go, I heard of it, but I really don't know nothing about it. You know, and then when I say, well, did you hear about the women, the 1 million women march, 97? And I asked Suzette's speech and she was like, I never heard of the woman one. There was a woman's one. It was like, yeah, go ahead and research it. See what they was really advocating for. You know, see what the men was advocating for. And, you know, then we talked about, I said, she was like, I understand the feminist movement. And I said, and I gave her a name. I said, you know, this lady just passed away in December, but I have one of her books and you should really, you know, take the deep dive and really see what this woman was saying. And then on top of that, it was like, because she was saying she didn't know nothing about the feminist movement. And she wasn't trying to be disingenuous, but then she said, you know, who was the leader? And me and this other woman was on the platform. And I said, well, we got to remember for 10 years, women was listening to Oprah. She was a single woman. Yes, she may have had a statement, but they're not married.
Yeah.
She put her career above marriage. And then what? Gail got a divorce to be with Oprah. But these are the women that women were listening to. Career above family. And then Suzette Speaks on that same program said white women was going to college, was getting into law school, right? They would spend 1 year in law school and then get a white male lawyer or a white male engineer and leave school. It was like, she said she didn't understand it at the time what these women were doing. And it wasn't trapping them. It was, I'm going to go get me a doctor, but I'm going to get him before he get out of medical school. I'm going to go get me this engineer. I'm going to get him before he get out of medical school. They already had the game plan. But the black woman was getting degrees. And she said, we as black people, and this made me laugh because you made the statement. She said, we are the most over-degreed people. We got the bachelor, we got 2 and 3 degrees, but we're doing the worst.
Mm-hmm.
So that was okay, Gail.
Good
Have
night,
a
Gail.
Good night.
Keep up the hard work, Gail. Hey, Gail, just before you go, I'm definitely going to be on your live stream this Saturday at 8 o'clock. I'm going to be there.
Oh, that means I better not set up a live because she might start doing something on mine. Gail, I won't do a live at no 8 p.m. Uncle Stu going to hang out with you on your live Saturday at 8. Got it, ma'am.
Hey, but one thing I did want to let you know, Uncle Stu, did you see that some is a group starting a women's spear on YouTube?
No. Wow.
I sent it to you. I got to go back through and look at it, but I sent it to you.
Well, you know, it really wouldn't surprise me. It really wouldn't. It really wouldn't. Like I'm not surprised. You know, and it's probably, you know what? I'm hoping it's healthy. I pray that it's healthy conversations in that woman's sphere. But I really think Gail said, who started the women's sphere? Do you know the name?
Lucky is in it.
Lucky Marie?
Yeah, Lucky Marie. Shoot. Who's the other two people? Hold on. Let me see. I need to see if I can find it, Uncle Stu. Hold on a second. Matter of fact. It's interesting. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just that it just remind me of what you stated about the Million Man March.
Yeah.
It's not coming up. Let me see. I have to let you know, Uncle Stu. I don't see it.
Gail said the women's sphere this is what she said. She said, I heard that the women's sphere was a YouTube channel, not a group like the manosphere. Then you have the black and white manosphere. Oh, Big Bad Bull said, I heard a rumor that Lucky Marie's channel was taken down. Look like it's up now, but no videos. Big Bad Bull, when you get an opportunity, hit me up via email or IG. Hit me up via email or IG. Wealth Talk Productions. T sector is a little bit different. I'm understanding. I mean, you my hookup boy. That's a little bit different. I think the T sector is more like just a bunch of female YouTubers as opposed to it being like a network.
The women's sphere is Alan Girl Q, the Blooming Ebony, Lucky Marie, Arendes, and Ebony Oliver.
Interesting.
I thought it was kind of interesting.
Yeah, it says, oh, wow. She kind of just started kicking her channel off. Glad she got it back, though. Well,
it's not. I'm not saying it. I want to be clear because somebody might clip this and try to say that.
Yeah, and try to say you're saying something negative. No,
I'm just saying that it's just amazing how when something that men start and then the women go do the opposite of it. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Just like, and I only brought that up because you mentioned about the Million Man March.
Right.
And then the Women March came years after that. That's all
Right.
I was saying it for.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
just saw this today. So
Okay.
it was just kind of correlation and going in sync with what you were just talking about. That was
Yeah.
the reason why I brought it up.
Yeah. And it was interesting. I mean, you know, living through those times, you wouldn't have really seen what you see today. But as you see things, you know, unfold out, it's just very interesting. It's just very interesting, you know, but we'll see what happens. You know, I got to stay focused on my platform and what we doing here and whatnot, you know, so that's how that works. That's how that works. All right, sir. I'm going to call you probably right after I get off this stream.
All right. Well, we'll kind of go from there, Uncle Stu. But yeah, hit me up, and as everyone, appreciate everyone in the chat. Appreciate the support. Gail, get you some sleep because we need you continue to tear up these YouTube streets and teach these people how to moderate. Gail, I will say I went to one channel and everybody had a wrench, and I think I was the only one that didn't have a wrench. I was just like, what the hell's going on here?
Gail went through my stream and she was like, you need to get rid of all of this right here.
I mean, I went, everybody had a wrench. I was just like, I was the oddball because I ain't had no wrench.
I tell you, hey, look, Gail got on me, so I had to clean up my whole wrench section. It was like, what do you look like when you got 10 people in the chat and 8 people got a wrench? See, you need to. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out because I did. Gail, remember I was over there when you was on Miss B's channel and you was kind of going in detail about that. I was tuning in and taking notes. So yeah, I remember you said everybody don't deserve one, and they can go months later and remove comments. I was like, what? Sam here? I mean, the whole damn channel is like, 11 people in the chat, 10 of them got wrenches. I was like,
exactly. All right.
Well, y'all have a good night.
All right,
and as always, we catch you on the next video. Appreciate the support, and let's keep on pressing the ball forward.
Amen.
This is Uncle Stu, the old man on the block. Like, comment, share, and definitely subscribe. Emancipate your mind. Peace.